The following program is hosted by immature, irreverent, obnoxious, and often disgusting young men. Listener discretion is advised.
This time on Nude Clan, Ares, destroy my minions and my life is yours. Oh, fuck, that's the wrong podcast.
Shall we play again?
Player to another.
Turn on the TV, pick up the controller and play some games with the new clan.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Ultima Nude Clan, the non-Final Fantasy podcast. I'm your host, Caleb.
I'm Joe.
I'm Zach.
I'm A4. Kefka! Destroy my espers and my... Anyway.
And today,
Is it
guys...
destroy my minions or is it destroy my enemies? Because I feel like Kratos is fighting those...
It's destroy my enemies.
Yeah, I played it like 9 times. Trust me, I know what it is.
That's why you said
Why'd
minions.
you say
at
it
the beginning.
wrong?
You said minions.
No, I didn't.
You did.
Yes, you did.
Did I really?
Roll back the tape.
Destroy my minions! My minions! Minions! Why did
You've
I
been
say
thinking too much about
minions?
this Mario
Welcome
Brothers
to the-
movie. You're like, damn, why do the Minions
Yeah.
people need to get the
I
I was
Mario
thinking, like,
movie?
welcome to the new Despicable Me podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Or-
ultimate Despicable Me podcast.
Yeah.
We watch 1 minute of the movie at a time and talk about it.
Oh, God. Would please let us never do one of those fucking shows.
Yeah. That'd be
One of my
pretty...
favorite concepts for a podcast was like the worst. I think it's called the worst idea of all time. And I think they watched Sex in the City 2 every single day for a year, and then did like a 20-minute podcast after it. And it was like they were going.
That's hilarious,
Oh no,
actually.
I think they actually started with Paul Blart Mall Cop. They did that every single day for a year, and you could just hear them going through and just getting more and more insane as the show goes on. And they get into
not
like
bad.
the detail. It's like, oh, one thing I noticed was like this guy's shirt one scene. Like it's insane. It's
Well, I mean, Sex in the
insane.
City 2 is just, it's one of those movies that every time you watch it, you discover something new. You know what I mean? It's like,
Unfortunately,
it's like Scott
so-
Pilgrim or Pulp Fiction or Fooly Cooley. Every time you watch it, there's something new you've never seen before.
On my 5th watch through of Sex and the City 2, I did notice that one of the actors had a mole. They should have probably get checked out.
Yeah.
On my fifth watch through of Sex in the City 2, I started thinking Sarah Jessica Parker might actually be attractive, and that's what I knew I was in too deep.
Yeah, on the 15th watch through, I thought, man, couldn't she just afford to get it removed? How many times I've rented this movie? Like, I've given you how
By the
many
way,
dollars?
You didn't
now?
just go buy it from the savers and just
I can't
throw it in
just
your Blu-ray
buy Sex in the City 2. You got to rent it and then it disappears. So there's no trace.
Yeah, otherwise you're cursed with it forever.
Yeah.
It like haunts your house. By the way, only movie where Sarah Jessica Parker's actually hot is Hocus Pocus. So
She is hot in that. She is hot.
she's
in
like
that.
the hottest one of those three. Like she's not.
Oh, I
they're
mean,
not even
yeah.
trying to make her look ugly.
That wasn't hard.
Yeah.
No, I know, but like the other two are like they're made to look ugly, and she's just like a regular hot woman.
Yeah.
like-
Like she was yeah.
Yeah.
She was a
No,
whole-
but she's got like that. She's got like that energy that like girls who like to dress up as Harley Quinn have now, but they're not as hot because they're like dressing up as Harley Quinn.
And
So-
not trying to be frumps and Hocus Pocus and a legitimately terrible movie that everybody loves.
No, I just mean like because the Harley Quinn thing's been done to death.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's like
It
anytime
has.
a girl dresses up as Harley Quinn, it's like, let me guess, daddy issues. Well,
Yeah, and then she shows you the shirt, and
At least
you're
it'll
like,
be good
yeah,
sex.
there it is.
Yeah.
Says it right there.
yeah.
So, if you guys haven't garnered it by our conversation thus far,
We're talking about Harley Quinn on the podcast.
yeah, we're talking about Harley Quinn of War.
Reviewing Birds of Prey.
Joker.
of
Suck
war.
my clitoris, and my pussy is yours.
Yeah. That'd be awesome. Yeah, I'd watch that.
The quick time, you gotta do like thumbstick movements on the clit. If you're
Yeah, it's like
All right, now do the
And then he
alphabet.
just like
doo.
he just like he just rips her fucking uterus right out. The red orbs.
My favorite is God of War 3, and since you'll never play it, Joe, because you didn't like you weren't blown away. Well, you don't like video games, so you'll never play God of War 3. There's a part where you fuck Aphrodite, and then literally walk through a door and talk to her husband right after it. It's like amazing.
Whereas
Being the
new God
cuck
of War,
he is, he makes
he's
you a
like-
new set of weapons.
Yeah.
Well, no, what he says too when you walk through, he sits there and he's like, "You smell like my wife. Did she conquer a new God of War?" And you're like, "Smell my fingers." And then you just like walk past.
Yeah. Like, I was the one who took her
meanwhile, in the
orbs.
in the new God of War games, Kratos is just sitting on a bench with whatever his kid's name is, and you just hear a bunch of sex noises. And then some big guy comes out and he's like, "Did you treat my wife well?"
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty disappointed they don't have sex mini games in the new one. Like, I'm kind of annoyed about that.
You could have boned Freya.
Like, at first I was okay with it, but now the more I think about it, the more it, like, makes me angry.
Look, people on the Discord and people on the YouTube comments are going to be like, "Here comes Crazy A4 again with his right-wing conspiracy theories," but there is a war against
Here we go.
masculinity in American media, so...
I mean, did your
don't
war
know.
start before you hit
I mean,
puberty? 'Cause
I don't
know
think-
if
I
you've
mean,
been a real man.
That must be why we only see Marvel superhero movies with jacked up people and steroids as the leading men of these movies. It's because it's
Yeah, but they all, like-
anti-masculinity.
Look, I would say God of War is
but
one of the few things.
They all talk and act like women.
I would
That's the
say
problem.
God of War is one of the few things that's different from that. I think the new God of War they're not bad, and it's not anti-masculinity either. It's
The sex minigame thing not being in there is less the war on masculinity and more on like we can't have attractive women in Western media because the fat women that run Western media will be jealous of what they have to compete with.
Yeah, I don't think
That's why
God of
they're trying to
War
get rid of
falls
anime.
into that either, but you're right on a lot of fronts.
I don't know. I've seen the girls in the God of War Ragnarok, and they look like those like really shitty.
I don't. Well, look, you
3D
may
rendered
say
porn games.
war
where
of
they all look like dog
masculinity,
dolls.
but no, he's not right about a single one of his points that he brought up.
Hey, no, but he's
support
got a
it.
good point about our animation because A4 failed art school.
Look,
so he knows.
one of
whoa!
one of
I graduated. I just can't get a job in the industry. There's a difference.
Yeah, but you can graduate clown school too.
I
so don't know what
graduated,
you're
but they
saying.
didn't actually have
I
grades.
basically did.
So no, yeah, one of Thor's daughters
grades
is
in-
kind of hot, I think. But Freya, she's
You're
like
really leading with a lot of confidence here.
Freya's like a woods witch, man, and she's kind of like deranged. Plus, I've had her
Yeah,
in
dude.
Muspelheim for like a month
Deranged?
now.
Deranged chicks give the best head.
Yeah, like look at her; she looks feral.
She looks all right.
I mean, and I've had her in that
but
stink
she's not
hole
like-
Muspelheim for like the last month. She's gonna have a bitch face on because
She
been
looks
getting my
all right,
ass
but
handed
she's
to
like
me.
about as hot as they will allow someone like a woman to be in modern Western media. Like I'm not expecting them to have like all this lipstick and be dolled up and everything, but like she's clearly like rough and rugged and really going for it. Where it's like
I mean, at
Give
the
me a
very
hot
least,
woman.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like they make all the women super masculine, but in this one, she is
Yes,
a god,
yes.
so it's like that's pretty hardcore. Like you're gonna have some.
I do think it is funny that
You're gonna have an
women are
enlarged
trying to
clit when
legitimize
you become a
themselves.
god. Just saying.
I do think it is pretty funny that women try to legitimize themselves by just emulating dudes. That's
Yeah.
my favorite bit of that.
I mean, yeah, that I get it. I get it.
So what have you guys been playing this week?
Misogyny the game. Loving it. I'm not a sexist. I'm a misogynist though. Just to get the record straight. I don't treat people differently because of their sex and gender and whatever.
Why?
But I do think people have their place. That does go for guys too, though. So like, there's plenty of men that disappoint because they're failures. Like people,
Yeah,
sometimes at
we're
my
looking at
work,
one right now.
when there's men who don't work hard, and like I see the women working there working harder than the men, those people are failures in my eyes as well. So it's broad. It's not just the women.
At every job I've ever worked, the hardest working people are the middle-aged women.
Yeah, and I'm like, you're like 20. You're a 20-year-old man. You should be like exploding with energy here, and you're fucking lazy. I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Well, it's like we were saying on the last episode. There's something weird about like the new generation. Not that they're all lazy, but there's definitely like a general feeling of malaise.
Fucking Joe's eyes rolled so far into the back of his fucking skull.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't want to
It
have this
sound- I-
conversation again.
I
We
don't
just
think
had
the
this.
generation's lazy. I just if I can make more money, I'm gonna fucking do it, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck the restaurant
I think,
industry.
yeah, I
Fuck
heard
those boomer bitches, bro.
I
Where
heard
the money is.
I heard
Oil
those
fields.
eyes. I heard those eyes disconnect, and it sounded like a Yahtzee cup when they fucking like fell into the back of his skull.
Do I have a sound effect that sounds like that?
Oh,
No, I don't. Anyway,
I know why you sound like shit now. Suddenly, you turned on your thing.
Yep.
It's happening again.
Yeah.
I've had the
That's
thing
why-
on the whole time.
Yeah, that's why you've been sounding like shit. For me, you've been like sounding like a static.
You're poppy, yeah.
Every little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe the microphone cord's all fucked
No,
up.
it's your fucking
Nope.
thing you have.
It's
dude.
always-
tell
Every
it's a
time you try
digital
it,
one.
No,
this happens, and you're like, no, that's not it. No.
I have it on every episode,
No.
and you guys have never complained until right
You
now.
have it on every episode, and clearly,
we
just
can-
every once in a while, it's a little too much for your processor
Yeah, it's weird. It's not all the time if it's,
or your internet connection.
but every time it is happening, it is when you have that on. Although I guess
Yeah,
you
because I
do.
always have this thing
I was
on.
gonna say, I guess if you do have it on all the time,
Turn off your drops. Let's see if it goes away, A4.
Fucking get it. Okay. All right. Hold on.
Okay, all right.
Now I have to go into
We're holding
Discord
on.
settings and change everything. This is
Zach,
great
what
for
did
the
you
audio
play?
listeners.
Zach, what did you play over the last 2 weeks?
Last 2 weeks, Fire Emblem Engage, play a little bit of that. I beat God of War before I left, so I haven't.
oh, you
actually played
bitch!
that.
Oh, the first one. Never mind.
Yeah.
I forgot what we were doing
Um,
today.
So did that. Then let's see, played a little bit of Live Alive, which is fun.
Is it Live Alive or Live Alive?
It's Live Alive,
Okay.
is what I was told. But I like
I
it.
thought it was live alive.
We should do this exact
Live
same
Live.
thing. Let's do this exact same bit every time until we review the game. I say, wait, is it Live Alive or Live Alive? And then A4 says, I thought it was Live Alive.
Someone should make a whole compilation of every time this has come up since we've had to list this game up.
No,
Hold on.
This
It'll
needs
be
to the
a
opener of
45-minute
this episode.
conversation.
We gotta do this bit.
Live
We gotta do this
Alive.
bit every episode until we review Live Alive.
Live Alive.
It's like Scooby Doo. Like it's not a Scooby Doo episode until someone says, "And I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you meddling kids." So
Yeah. Live with Live Alive review.
Or what's coming up next? Twice.
Saturday Night Live Alive.
Twice. What have you been playing? Conan Exiles. I've been in the exiled land.
Yeah.
Get out of the exiled land. Oh, Zach, what have you been playing? Oh, a little bit of Pokemon Go. Guys, I know where this is going. Come on.
A4, what have you been playing? The government's trying to.
Yeah. Wait for what have you been playing? I've just been jerking off at anime girls, and I'm calling it a game.
Yeah. Because I can't jerk off to Western
man,
women in
Senran
media
Kagura
because
is a
they look
game.
like
Fuck you.
shit.
For your information, Joe, I did play Pokemon Go this last week, so fuck you. And
Surprise, surprise.
yeah, it's the easiest game to play when I'm out doing walks and stuff. I feel like there was another game. I can't remember what it was. Oh, dude, I started Mario Odyssey. Fun
Yeah.
game. Mario Odyssey's been really fun. I've heard it's really good, so I'm excited. And then,
Like, how
Fuck.
far are you? Did you get to the caveman
I-
kingdom?
huh?
Did you get to like the caveman kingdom? It's like the first one after the intro.
No,
Okay.
I was on the Chain Chomp Island thing.
Okay, then you probably got to the caveman king. I forget what it's called, but you like
Yeah.
take control of chain chomps and you like
Yeah, okay, I know that's a caveman one. Yeah.
yeah.
So
This-
I'm
That game's good.
co-oping. I'm co-oping that with my girlfriend, and so we have to find every fucking star and every fucking coin. So that's gonna be a long time to beat. So
So there's like 900 moons in that game in total.
no, she's
Now, to
gonna
be
want to
fair,
find
to be fair,
all of them.
To be fair, you don't unlock like a good chunk of them until after you beat the game.
Oh,
And
good. Then
like,
after
they-
I beat the game, I'm done. Okay, good, perfect.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Um,
because you're also not good enough of a gamer to beat the final really hard level.
Fuck you. Yes, I am.
Prove it.
I'm not gonna spend all that time to find the hearts or the means. Fuck that. Fuck that. That is too much. And then
Sounds like something a bad gamer would say.
that's okay. Tell your wife her next abortion's on me. Anyway, so
Hey man, get to aborted.
It was an abortion, A4.
Yeah, really. So was I. So I mean, it tracks.
tracks. Fuck, I know I played one more game and I can't remember what it was. Oh, Resident Evil 4
Pokemon
remake.
Scarlet Violet.
No, I beat that a long time ago. I'm playing
How
the
are you liking
RE4 remake. Dude, it's fun. I'm really enjoying it. The PS5 controller really makes it, like, shooting and stuff, makes it fucking awesome. Schweiss, when are we going to review the RE4 remake?
I honestly, I haven't bought it yet.
Dude, it's fun.
I know.
Fucking way fun.
I like I said last time, I tried to buy it like 5 times. And then after that, I finally thought about it, and I was like, well.
I feel like this is a pattern. You always buy games multiple times because you fuck up the first 4 times.
Yeah.
They were like sold out at every place he tried to go to.
Yeah, so I didn't buy it 5
then,
times.
His post-nut clarity kicked in at some point. He's like, I don't need this game.
That is what I thought at the time. I was like, this is like the video game purchase version of post-nut. Except for I never nutted. I never found it, but I'm like, I haven't even beat God of War yet, and I still have a lot of that game left.
Yeah.
So why would I spend $60?
I need to beat that God of War 2, but I'm waiting until we get closer to the review, so it's fresh.
Yeah. I'm going to do everything, so it's not going to be fresh, but I'm going to have done everything.
That's what I'm thinking about doing, too.
I also have to beat God of War 2, the PS2 one, though, so that I can play God of War 3, and then I can play God of War 4 2018, whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah. We believe you.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
I mean, I believe you. It's a lot,
games,
though.
At least the PS2 and 3 ones are, so.
Yeah.
No, the PSP.
I mean, God of War 3 is really not that long either. It's just a giant boss fight, like a boss run is basically what.
It's pretty sweet, too.
Just honestly, for a long time, it was one of my favorite games because I just enjoyed everything about it.
I certainly stopped playing Final Fantasy 13 when that game came out, and I never went back until the podcast. Never once.
You betray your weebs.
Yeah, we were at that release together, weren't we?
We were.
Yeah. Remember that kid that was dressed up like Leon from Resident Evil 4?
He kissed you in the moonlight, and you fucking forgot.
Yeah, that was weird. I was like, why is this guy dressed up as Leon? It's a Final Fantasy fucking release. Get out of here, you fucking
idiot. Anyway, that's all I played.
Cool.
Joe, what did you play?
Well, I'll tell you what I played. I have been playing since last week some more of, you guessed it, Parasite Eve, the third birthday. I am on chapter 2 of 5.
Nice.
For 2 weeks?
Parasite Eve, the third birthday. Yes, of 2 weeks. This weekend.
I'm just kidding. I've never
I had a goal, dude. I had a goal of getting 7 hours of gaming in for the podcast. I did 3.
Wow.
I did 3
That's not bad.
hours this whole last week.
That's still a decent chunk, though.
Yeah.
Like all
It
things
was
considered.
Parasite Eve, and then the other game that I played with Schweiss was we played 2 missions in Halo Infinite, which things are looking up for Halo Infinite.
Oh
by
shit!
the way.
You can co-op it. A4. We gotta play. I'll go back to I'll go back to the beginning to play with you because I.
There's
want to co-op
also
with you.
this addictive
Steam?
grappling
'Cause I have
hook
it on-
thing.
Oh, dude, the grappling hook's amazing.
Yeah.
It's like,
dude,
it's
I
the
use
best thing 343 ever came up
I
with.
was using
ever.
it all the time, dude, because you just took.
I use it just to
to
walk.
the back of the head and they're down. It's awesome, bro.
Yeah, I think we should.
It is a shame that we probably will not be doing the Halo Infinite review on episode 343, which I think is next week.
It's all right. We just won't record until we're done with Halo.
Yeah, until we
Infinite.
be a Halo Infinite, and then we.
I mean, it doesn't matter because having to deal with you guys and you're like negotiating over artwork. The episodes take 4 weeks to come out anyway. So
No, this
what
this
does it
week
matter?
In particular was just this week in particular was just brutal, and it's like I could get the artwork done, but I'm too fucking tired.
This week in particular, and then 2 weeks ago in particular, and then.
It's all right.
Look, man, I'm sorry I work a job that actually requires physical labor. You should maybe try it sometime.
I can't. I literally get in trouble if I do physical labor at my job.
Really?
What? Yes, I am not allowed to work, or people get paid extra for me doing
They
their work.
come over. They're like, "This boy's white. Don't let him lift
Sounds like
a bar."
Yeah, put that rake
sounds like a
down,
skill issue
boy.
on your part.
Yeah, no, I work for a really stupid company that agree to a lot of really dumb things.
The United States government, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Government. Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought.
So the union.
So
will,
the FBI
will
people listening,
get
because of the
paid.
Holocaust joke a few weeks ago, we do not think the government's stupid.
Yeah. Just really, really not smart is all.
Now, about whether or not the Holocaust happened.
Yeah.
Sorry, getting sung in my earpiece.
I don't know
You're
who's.
gonna
I don't know what.
booted off of
I
this
don't know
place.
where those pile of shoes came from. Those could have been from anybody. Okay. That's the only thing I've seen. Like, it's just a bunch of
I didn't deny
shoes.
anything, Joe.
Okay,
I'm
and
a
then
firm
there's.
believer that the Holocaust happened. All right, 6
Yeah.
million of them died. Not one more, not one less. And that's my truth, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, there you go. Certified true.
And
As
if
the
you were actually a
podcast's
Holocaust denier,
as
that would
the-
make so much sense to me.
As the podcast's official Israeli representative, I cannot be in that camp.
Yeah, even if he says
Or
he
that
is, he
train.
can't.
Or that shower.
I realized it as soon as you. Yeah. So what else have you been playing besides Parasite Eve and Halo Infinite?
Also, do you like
No,
that?
that's it.
Do you like that intro music on that Parasite Eve? It's like way better than everything else.
I don't play the intro music. I have not had to go back to it.
Oh no, the menu music. The
Who did the soundtrack? I thought it was the dude who did The World Ends With You.
I don't know, but that song is
Oh,
really
yeah.
good, and then everything else
That's
I
all
don't
right.
remember. So that'll be fun.
Yoko Shimomura,
Yeah, it was Yoko again.
Suto Suzuki.
So you should be jerking it off.
Bitch that broke up the Beatles did the music for Parasite. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yoko Shimomura, my favorite video game composer. I love the songs from Kingdom Hearts where she's like,
A really long ass
go
on
to
that
Traverse
woman.
Town and you hear that.
Wait long.
Yeah.
I played a bit of Parasite Eve on the old Vita. I'm on day 5 of 6.
Oh.
So I'm almost done with it.
How many hours are you?
5 hours in.
What?
Like 5. Yeah.
What are you playing on?
I just beat the Vita.
No, normal or easy?
I assume normal.
Oh my god.
Wait, which
I-
Parasite Eve is that?
First one.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about 3. I was like, 5 hours? You're on fucking day
No,
5?
No.
Like, God, am I just? Is this
playing
the
the first
game that
Parasite
I am the
Eve 'cause I
worst at?
No, I'm
Been
almost done with
twice.
Parasite
I had his
Eve.
midlife crisis right there.
All right, I can accept that.
And then
That was like a
despite the,
7-hour game.
Despite the infamous bitching and moaning, I will try and play Parasite Eve 2, just so I get more of the story, and then I will play Third Birthday.
Yeah, story. Yeah, have fun.
Nope.
You're gonna feel like
Well, if it
the
ends up
world's
being too
biggest
difficult, I'll just
asshole
look up
when you.
story synopsis. But I wanted to at least have like a bit of context for what the original game was, so I could see why people hate the Third Birthday so fucking much. I know it's like a third person.
Joe, did you not
action
finish the
shooter.
second?
He never played 2.
I never played 2. Now, the first one, Zach,
I'm only
doesn't-
saying it because someone
Zach,
made a
this
comment.
is what happened.
Someone made
This
a
was
comment. I'm
no,
just
no, no.
saying.
It's all right. It's all right. They're not wrong. What happened was when we were playing Parasite Eve, I happened to save in a do not return to go level up area in Parasite Eve. So the game, because of its bad save point placement, and I saved over. I didn't have an extra save a little further back. I was not able to level up, and I was horrendously stuck on the final boss, like so bad.
Yeah.
What
And
level you were at?
no, man, it's been fucking years. Go back to
I don't
listen
know
to the
if you
episode. I
just
have
knew
no
offhand.
fucking idea.
I don't know if you know offhand. I'm at like level 20 or 21 right now.
I think Joe
There's
doesn't
more
know
than
because
that.
he's
And-
bullshitting because he never played
and
the game.
Zach, this is what I had to do. I said, okay, well, after some, I think we argued about this on the show, but basically, like, I couldn't count it as a game beat, but I did end up reviewing it.
But you could have because the only thing you didn't beat was the last boss.
The only thing I didn't beat on my save file was the last boss, and then what I did, Zach, was I downloaded on GameFAQs someone else's save, uploaded it onto the PS3, and then continued the game on someone else's save, and then beat it that way. So everything was fought, every cutscene was watched, but I did not technically beat the game on my own.
So here's
That's kind of shitty. If he got that far and then he downloaded it and then beat the boss.
Here's what really happened. Joe
I
fucked
feel
up
like that should be.
and accidentally there's a pistol you get at the end that's like the gun. You put all of your goodies into that pistol. So like I transferred my grenade launcher back in the day and made it into a pistol, which doesn't make any sense.
Oh, is that what it was? It was like an item?
Yeah, I thought
it was leveling
there's
up.
a really good handgun, and you have to put your really good rocket launcher that you've been using, at least that's what I did, into that pistol, and that pistol becomes fucking nuts. And you didn't have it.
There's like a feature. There's a feature in the game where you can use like items to transfer the parameters or like the abilities attached to your various guns to different guns.
Yeah.
So if I've got a gun that like fires ×3 each like time my action gauge fills up, and I want that on like a stronger gun, then I just have to transfer that over. I lose the old gun, but I can transfer that ability to the new gun.
Yeah.
Or if I have another gun that has like a +6 in attack, and I want to put that on a gun with like a higher base attack, I can do that too.
Yeah, and that's why you gotta
lose the gun, but...
you gotta do the pistol, because the pistol has higher rounds. So like your damage per bullet is less, but when you're shooting a clip of 7 versus like 1, it's a lot more damage. And you didn't have that item, so there was like no saving grace for you. There was no escape. And that's the last boss is actually pretty hard. He has a lot of HP.
I don't love the fact that some games, some older games especially, will have just points of no return that they'll allow you to save over. Like that's so wrong. Just like,
or at least
there's nothing I can do, especially an RPG like game. It's not a
like,
skill-based game.
Once you go past this area, you're not coming back. So make sure you got.
Yeah, they're
everything.
like, Joe,
So,
once you go black, you don't go back.
I mean, speaking
Yeah,
of
there's
today's
no,
episode, God
or
of War
like,
does exactly that.
Like A4 hasn't gone back.
I think you're just mad because the baby looked like me, and the whole time you were just thinking that it was saying, or you're like, oh, how do I beat you? And he's like, oh, I don't know. I just played the game. Or like said one of my douche comments that I've said over the years, like, oh, I just played the game. That's how I could do it. I just got good.
Man, I never thought I'd say this, but I'm on Joe's side for this. He should have been able to count.
No, I accepted not having to count it.
Yeah, we didn't count
like
it.
you should have. I feel like
But I
you should have
didn't.
been able to.
I wasn't cool with having to restart in order to review it.
Right, that's super shitty.
Yeah, it's like a 7-hour
it's only
game.
5 hours though.
And it's a weird one too. The way they set it up, it's kind of an interesting way to do grinding. Is they have like a level that the game wants you to be at pretty much when you beat the game. So once you beat that threshold or get past that threshold, leveling up is super fast. So it's almost like FF13 kind of. It's like a prerequisite to that, because 13 has like roadblocks where you can't get better. You have to actually get better at the game. Now, Parasite Eve, there's almost not really much of a way to get better at the game other than get better at running in slow-mo as Ada, but dodging
when you get
shit.
those spider webs on you or whatever.
Yeah, or no, she just her legs move too much for how much terrain she's covering. That's all it is.
I mean, if you catch
Just
haste, you can
moonwalking
run
all over the
faster,
place.
But it also doesn't last forever.
So Julico says, "Can someone turn Schweiss's volume up, please?"
That doesn't mean turn Schweiss up.
I know.
Schweiss, that doesn't mean turn yourself up.
No, I know.
No, I got him. He was at 75 on my end for some reason.
And-
I like Parasite Eve so far.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It's kind of like a zany RPG, sort of like Vagrant Story, but not nearly as intricate and cool as Vagrant Story.
It's like it's so weird because it's like it's trying to be like almost like Resident Evil, but like there's a lot of the like hallmarks of like late '90s SquareSoft in there, like the way like the fucking sounds you make when you fucking like use an item. It's like that exact kind of like pring, like that fucking shit that isn't like every '90s Square RPG.
Yeah, just wait till number 2, and then it'll be just straight up Resident Evil. But horrifying.
I think that one's all real time, right?
Yeah. It's and the tank controls are rough.
Right.
And the game is rough.
And then the other thing about Parasite Eve as well is that I think I'm leveling up enough just because the game is so fucking pixel hunty that like I'll run through an area a bunch of times over and over again, just trying to figure out like how to unlock a door or something. That like it was like, oh, I didn't search this one, even though I stood right in front of this drawer and hit X. I didn't do it the right way, so now I open the drawer and I get the card key for this fucking door that I've been trying to open for the past 5 minutes. And every time you go into certain areas, it like triggers enemy encounters. Like sometimes,
Yeah.
it doesn't do it all the time. But
Have you gotten to
I've been
the
getting my
museum yet? That's like the coolest part.
I have not done it as a dungeon. I've been there to meet like the mad scientist guy on the second floor.
Oh man.
But, I'm on day 5, so I think I'm either going to do the museum next or probably because it kind of follows a formula where it's like each day you do like a little bit of story shit and then you do a dungeon, then you fight a boss, and then it's like the next day.
Yeah.
Rinse
No,
and
I
repeat.
remember. I've beaten it twice. I beat it back in the day and then once for the show. So.
But I like it. The music's really good. I really like that soundtrack. And then as for what else I've been playing, I've been messing around with the Mercenaries, not in the remake. I've been just fucking around with Mercenaries on RE4 from 2005 for some reason. I love that game mode, so I've been trying to up my scores.
No, it's peak Mercenaries. 3's sucks. 4's is really good, and 5's is a sad imitation of 4's. So
Yeah. I didn't really get a lot of time to play too much stuff this week, so I did not really play the remake at all because
Nope.
I kind of want to like really sit down and digest that thing.
Wait, did you get the Resident 4 remake?
Yeah.
What I
got it on
liked,
launch.
and I don't. Did you get yours on PC?
Yeah.
So you probably just said that and I zoned out. I'm sorry.
That's good.
I was trying to read comments on our thing, but
Well, no, because earlier you said a PS5 controller makes the shooting feel really good, and that I'm like, you know what makes it feel even better is a mouse and keyboard.
no. I'm saying it's fun because like the like triggers are like have like the dual sensation or whatever. So it's just kind of fun to like play with, like when you have to like turn stuff or like when you shoot the guns, it's like different like pressure on it. It's just kind of cool.
yeah, it's cool.
I still have not held a fucking DualSense controller. I
It's
really
cool
wanna
until
feel
you're
like
playing Call of Duty, and then you're like, I gotta turn this off. I gotta be able to fucking unload, dump ass out of this 45 1911. I can't fucking have this
it
trigger
probably feels
resisting
really good
me.
when you're playing the campaign.
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
Like, normal.
Yeah, it's fun.
But online,
yeah,
you got to
you
turn
gotta
that
dump
shit
ass on
off.
multiplayer.
It's like that feature in the car that I had, and like from my year, like 2015 on, where it's like, oh, when you speed up, the music gets louder, and I'm like suddenly going like 120, like.
I fucking hate
It's
that
like,
shit.
I got to turn this off. I'm gonna die.
I hate that shit. I turned it off immediately because I would always just be like, why can't the music just stay the same volume? Which for me is just like blaring the whole time. Like,
Yeah. Hey, speaking of, real quick, real rage. I've been meaning to go off on this lately, but like, what the fuck is up with like new phones, dude? They won't let me blast things. They're like, Samsung is, oh god, they're evil, man. They won't let me turn the music
when
up
you get
so
past, like-
loud that like it's
when you
not
get
loud
past the
enough.
60% mark.
Yeah, it's like, and then they're like, oh, this might cause damage to your hearing. I'm like, shut the fuck up, phone. I don't need your, what are you, my dad? Like, fuck you. And then, like, I max it out, and it's not even that
I want to listen
loud.
to 72 seasons the
iPhone
way it was
does that
fucking
too.
intended.
No,
iPhone does that too, bro.
it's so quiet. I'm like, and then it,
iPhone doesn't stop you from going loud. It just
iPhone
gives
tells
you a
you
warning.
that iPhone's really not that loud either anymore. Like though, like
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
feel like
like-
when I try to turn it up, it's just terrible. But it
No,
does.
I think
it's
some
like,
of
you're
that
gonna
is
get
like-
damage to your ears.
I think some of that is just the headphones you buy as well. Like headphones are more or less loud. Like they
But
have more or less amplitude.
thing
It's
is,
not
though,
necessarily the phone.
that's why it's so much
'Cause, like,
better. Yeah, go ahead.
The
go ahead.
phone is saying like, oh, you're maxing it out based upon the phone's output, but like if I put that thing in my car speakers, I can crank it. So
But you know what's even louder in your car? A CD with the same music. It's like
Yeah.
beautifully loud and fucking way better. Like way better. Like, oh man,
Yeah.
I've been going back to using CDs because I'm like, this fucking thing is like pussy level. It's so quiet. It's pissing me off. I'm like, fuck you, Samsung. You don't control my life, motherfucker.
One fucking
Fuck it,
choice.
man, I wanna
he's at
get-
work at like 3 a.m. and he's blasting fucking Metallica, and this old lady's like, I'm trying. And he's just
Fuck
fucking.
it, man. I want to get a vinyl record player installed in my car.
If Japan wants to go to war again, we can do it. But it'd be a real shame if it was over Samsung volume controls as opposed
I don't
to
think it's a
I don't know,
Japanese company.
Pearl
I think that's
Harbor.
South Korean.
ooh, South Korea. How about we just let North Korea take you guys over or fix your fucking phones?
Dr. Roxo says apps exist to boost volume.
Yeah, I know, but I just shouldn't have to do that, man. It should be default that I can deafen myself.
And Nintendo should make controllers that work, but the
I know.
Asians are fucking us. No, I'm
They're
just kidding.
they're just trying to piss us off. They give us COVID. They give me Samsungs that don't go loud enough. They give me controllers that stop working when I don't even use them. Ooh,
Bro,
this is war.
Dude, no. So, speaking of the controllers, I bought my girlfriend for her birthday some like aftermarket Joy-Cons because I wasn't spending $80 on Joy-Cons. And so, because I got her a few things. So I got her these aftermarket Joy-Cons. She fucking put them into her Switch, turned them on. They lasted for an hour. And she's like, hey, why is my guy running by himself? And I was like, fuck!
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
And so I was like, shit. So I write this
Should have
review.
bought new ones.
Yeah.
Should have gotten her the pink and green
coming.
ones.
So then I'm like, maybe it's just like these one aftermarket. Like maybe it's just a fact. Like shit happens, right? So I return them to Amazon and I buy this like the same ones, just like new ones. And I was like, in my reason to like return. I'm like, bought. I said got the drift almost immediately. Shit, I said just figure shit happens. I'm just gonna get these ones. Got these new ones. She puts them in again. She plays for like an hour, and she's like, "Dude, it's doing it again." So I go to return these pieces of shit, and I go to click on the page, and the page is gone. They're not even like on Amazon anymore. So I was like, "God damn! All those reviews were fake." So I looked at reviews, and they said they were good. So I went in, and it's like a reason for return, and I was like. Because you fucked me. I bought these twice. I was like, twice! I was like, I learned
Were
my
they
lesson.
official ones?
No, they weren't official. I was just like, the reviews were good though, so I was like, whatever. So then I ended up going to buy the RE4 remake, and I found the watermelon ones that she wanted at that GameStop, and I'm like, I might as well pay the $80.
Might as well drift in style.
The guy was like...
the pink and green ones? Is that the watermelon ones you're talking about?
Yeah.
I said, a dude was like, do you want a warranty? And I'm like, how much is the fucking warranty? And he's like, $12. He goes for 2 years, and if they break, you bring them in, and we just give you new ones. And I was like, fucking sold. I'm
You're like, does the 2 years restart with every new pair? Because then, yeah, I'll do that.
That's what I was saying to Ray. I was like, make sure you return these at the end of 2 years. I was like, keep the box.
Like, oh, don't worry, I'll be back in an hour.
Yeah.
Strike Knight, you shouldn't have to have the Pro Controller, though. We've had this argument.
Look, no. Here's the response. Your eyes are to glaze over and you're saying, hey, the Pro Controller is only $60, trademark. You should go buy a Pro Controller, trademark. Yeah. They made a Pro Controller and it feels really good in your hand, trademark. It's like the fucking, that's the Autobot response to, these Joy-Cons suck ass.
Pro Controller.
Trademark.
You should just be able to... What pisses me off is this fall from grace with Switch as well. Because they had a system that was virtually fucking indestructible. They had this GameCube that people threw off of roofs to see if it would last. It worked!
It even had a handle to make you throw it further.
It still worked.
They're like...
buy him and then here in Utah, they had him at DI. They had people who, fucking returned these... there was a time when there was, GameCubes all over. And guess what? I play games. Okay?
I tiled my floor with GameCube.
Yeah. When the plate drops, the plate explodes. When I fall, I break.
Bro. And then they give you, and I love the Switch. I love it. I love playing on it. I love the games I get on it. But these fucking controllers, that they use these graphite pads and the fall from grace, and I'm pretty sure that they're getting back at us now for the bomb on Hiroshima.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is, but jeez, man.
If you thought that was crazy, they're a lot bigger now.
And then, no, that too, you go back to, have you thrown an N64 controller at a wall? Indestructible. Your wall gets a dent.
I mean,
then you have
except
to
for
lie
the
to your
little...
parents and be like, I didn't throw the controller, I don't know what happened.
Have you
for the
thrown
nub.
a Wii U gamepad at your wife? Indestructible. Both the wife and the Wii U gamepad.
And a divorce. That was a weird
No,
turn
the
of
marriage is
events.
also indestructible. No, I mean,
But
I've had 3 pairs of Joy-Cons, not because of drift. I think I've only gotten drift on one of them. I had to buy new Joy-Cons because I had the thing in the carrying case and I dropped the carrying case. No, I dropped the carrying case, and then the little the little plastic nub that like holds
Yeah.
the thing
Oh!
in when you push this button broke. And I'm like, well,
okay.
I don't want to be holding my Switch
You
and
know
have the
what?
thing fall out of my fucking hand.
Let's go with that too. On my girlfriend's fucking Switch, her controllers that came with it, they didn't get the drift, but they kept sliding out. We had to buy a fucking new lock, a metal lock online, and take the time to unscrew every goddamn. And then one of the screw strips. Ooh.
Yeah, I just ended up,
fucking bullshit, dude.
I just ended up buying new Joy-Cons because I got the Switch with the gray ones, and I'm like, I could use a pair of colored ones. Why the fuck
my
not?
God.
So,
Yeah, we can
and
always
I
pair
did-
colored ones. And it's just fucking.
yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause I
fuck
have
it. Just
gray now.
$80. Who needs $80?
Yeah, I have gray
Look,
now.
I'm sorry-
I wish.
Schweiss,
I wish
Schweiss,
I would
I'm
have
sorry
bought
you
the
can't
ones
afford-
for.
Schweiss,
Bro,
I'm sorry you
he's
can't afford
got-
80.
Bro, he's
I'm sorry
got
hold on.
parasites at his house.
I'm
He's
sorry
got
you can't
Parasite
afford.
E3s
A4
living
can't be cut off.
I'm sorry
that's
you
only
can't
something
afford
he
80
could do.
bucks.
The cutoff point was when his dad said, "You're going to fucking art school. You're Jewish. You're supposed to be a doctor."
No, the cut.
And
No,
then
the
it
cutoff
was
point.
like, "But Dad, I want to draw comic books." And he's like, "No, I'm not
No,
paying
the
for this."
Zach, the cutoff point was my bris. But Schweiss. No, I'm sorry you can't afford $80, Schweiss. I'm sure if the PS5 had any games, you'd be able to spend that $80 on a game for that. But
Yeah.
as it stands,
Well, wait, Strike Knight, you saying it's only $7 to fix your locks on your game controllers?
It's only
the money.
Yeah, don't worry.
Pro Controller. Never go back.
Fucking,
It's only $7 to
it's not
fix the
about
drift.
that.
Yeah. Oh, you
you
can.
literally peaked so hard.
You can.
You literally peaked so hard that like.
You can
Oh,
pay. You can pay. You can
Wow.
ship them to Nintendo, and they'll send it back to you in 3 months, and then it's just like it never happened.
No, I completely agree that the little like them using plastic instead of metal for the little locks on these things is bullshit. Like they
Okay,
should've-
Strike Knight says no, the stick drift. Okay.
No, the
All right,
stick
man.
drift. The stick drift is no big deal. You can send it to Nintendo for $7. You can have
I
it
just can't believe it.
fixed.
Yeah.
Or
Actually, no, wait. I
you
have
can
four
buy
pair- I
a
have
Pro
four pairs of Joy-Cons.
Controller.
I have 4 pairs of Joy-Cons if the
Four
NES
pairs of
controllers
Joy-Cons
count.
money bags. Jesus Christ. He's like,
Well,
hey
no,
guys, I can't afford to do artwork this week. I have to work, but
No,
I have an old chestnut sitting here, and it's like all his pro controllers and his fucking
no, the NES
child's college
controllers.
fund.
The NES controllers slot into the sides like Joy-Cons, so I guess they technically count.
Oh, I've seen those. Those are sweet.
Guys, we got to review this God of War. We've
Yeah.
got to review it.
Well, Schweiss had a story.
I'll talk about it after.
Okay.
I did play Conan Exiles this week, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
I've got 5 thralls cooking on my custom server, and I joined a PvP server just to try it out. And the only annoying part so far is that I think I find a spot that's secluded, and then I like go over the cliff, and then there's a fucking big ass castle like right there. I'm like, fuck. I don't know if there's anybody in there though. All I've heard is like a horse neighing, so I'm gonna try to like steal this guy's horse.
That's where they
you're-
keep their women.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to tell me the most annoying part was that the like item drop rate for doing things is like at 1.0, whereas like in your custom server it's set to like 0.1, where it's like, yes, I mine a rock and I only get 6 stone from it.
Yeah. No, it's actually quadrupled, so I feel really dirty and nasty every time I do anything.
Wow.
But
You're not even playing the game correctly.
I agree, but I wanted to join a server that actually had people on it, so I had to.
You mean one that was fun?
Yeah.
Wouldn't want that.
I also hear a Wheel of Pain somewhere, so I don't know if this base is occupied, but I haven't been raided yet, so
I heard a Wheel of Pain somewhere and I got it wrecked.
yeah.
I think a good Nude Clan drinking game would be every time that Schweiss brings up anything to do with Conan Exiles, and then A4 or Conspiracy Theory. And then every time Zach starts a point and then trails off weekly.
And then anytime Joe is gay.
Bro, they would be drunk. That's fucked up, bro.
Yeah, they would black out before they even got to the review.
That's
They'd be dead before they even heard our God of War scores.
Well,
I played Ragnarok too. I spent as much time on 2 fights as you did playing Parasite Eve this week, so I've decided that I'm going to leave Muspelheim for now. I really like how they did it in this new one, though. It's really cool.
Which one's Muspelheim?
It's the Trials.
I fucking hate that place.
Oh man, it's awesome in this one.
With the elves, right? The elf place?
No, it's the fire. It's the bunghole.
Never mind.
Yeah. It's it's in the first game. That's where you like fight your way through all the trials, and then the final one is the Queen Valkyrie or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's the one. That's the one with the elevator, right?
Yeah, but in this one,
fuck that place. I beat that on Gimme God of War, and I about broke. I broke a controller. I broke a controller on that.
I can't play on that. Although now I've discovered that like I play games really stupidly, especially if I have to put it down for weeks and weeks. Because, like, in this, I finally started using, like, all the runes and stuff again, so the special abilities for the weapons, because I'm just getting my ass just chewed up.
Were you not using runes before?
I forgot how to, like, what the combos and shit were. It's been too long, man. I had to, like, sidetrack. And so I'm just getting pummeled, and then I'm finally like, fuck, I gotta, like, look this shit up. And so I go into the menu, and I'm like, oh, yeah, these things. Oh, yeah, these abilities. And now I'm, like, good. If I use my abilities, I'm good.
When Schweiss says he plays games stupidly, it means he plays games and then doesn't realize a major mechanic until like the end of the game, and he's like,
it's like
I can
Elden Ring.
Up in
it's
the
like
third
Elden
birthday.
Ring.
Yeah, it's like what are these gay little fucking what's a stupid Tetris shit in third birthday? What is this? I put a gun in here and
little things. You call them numbers? What?
Yeah,
I can make them go
Dude,
up.
I've had legitimate problems where like. The last couple months, I've just been so freaking busy that, like, if you only play a game once a week, especially a game like God of War, for example.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff.
And you have forgotten the combos within that week's time, because it is so easy to forget combos within a week, it becomes a problem where you just suddenly become like, God, I'm way shittier at this right now.
No, you're very right, because, like, I'll put down like Spider-Man PS4 for a while, and then I'll pick it back up after like a month, and then it'll be like during like a mission, it'll be like perform this kind of combo, and I'm like I have to go in like the button move lists, like how do I do this?
Yeah,
bro, I straight up don't remember.
Yeah, and like I was like, oh yeah, I can level up their abilities, and like so I had no idea what I was doing, but doing the Muspelheim, I've rediscovered how to play the game, so it should be a little easier. But the cool thing about the thing in that game is they have like there's like I think three different sets of trials that you do, and so there's 9 of them, right? But then there's combination forges, which are like you go and you do a set of I think there's 12 total variations where you do one trial and then it activates the runic symbol from that trial's like sword in the ground in a big one in the middle of the main area. And then you do another one, and then it unlocks a special trial kind of a thing. So, like, you have to go through and do one of the phases that you've already done, and then do another one that you've already done on a different one to unlock different combo possibilities of, like, fights. And so it's really cool, but they're fucking, like, hard, dude. Like, there's one of them I got now, it's, like, level 90. There's 99 dudes I have to kill. And the fucking, like, 5th guy that spawns is one of those, like, berserker retard guys that hits you once and you're dead. I'm like, fuck, man. Like, there's 2 of these fucking tard holes out here, and I can't fucking dodge them. I'm trying to kill everybody else, and then fucking dumbass just comes and sits on me, and I can't move, man. I can't move. It's just fucking one punch. I'm like, he's just hitting me with his hands. This guy's got a sword with lava coming off of it. And this fucking dude, you want me to believe this guy's punching me harder than that? How is that even possible? So I'm getting really pissed at it. But I've decided that I have to leave because I seriously spent like 2 hours on one fight. And it was like 6 bosses in one. Just over and over and over again. And I was getting so pissed. And finally, when I beat it, I decided, okay, I'll do one more and then I'm leaving. And so I gotta go. But it is a game that you guys should play where it's like the only game. Because I've found that I suck at it if I leave it alone for too long. Because there's a lot of little combos and a lot of little variations you can do, and not good.
It's kind of like that with a lot of the like newer games that have a lot of different like mechanics and systems and shit.
Yeah. I don't do
It's the same way with me and Spider-Man. So
I don't do game mechanics. I just
you know, you play. I heard a review.
You know, a
of Elden
game.
Ring.
You know what game thinks it has a lot of mechanics, but it doesn't? God of War for the
God
PS2.
of War
Yeah.
is an action-adventure game developed by Santa Monica Studios and
Wait,
published
we're
by
supposed to play the
Sony Computer.
PlayStation 2 one. I may have played 2018.
Bullshit.
I'm just kidding. All right, keep going.
I would have played a drop, but you made me turn those off. So
Published by Sony Computer Entertainment. The game was originally released for the PlayStation 2 in 2005 and later remastered for the PlayStation 3 and 4, as well as being included in various collections. The development of God of War began in 2002 when the studio wanted to create a new franchise that would compete with other action-adventure games on the market. The game's director, David Jaffe, and lead artist, Charlie Wen, wanted to create a game that would combine elements of Greek mythology and epic storytelling with fast-paced action and brutal combat. The team began by creating concept art and storyboards for the game, which included designs for the game's main character, Kratos, and the various creatures and enemies he would face. The team also researched Greek mythology to create a believable and immersive world. The development team used PlayStation 2's hardware capabilities to create a visually stunning game, according to ChatGPT, with detailed character models and environments. The game also featured a unique combat system that allowed players to perform a variety of moves and combos, as well as Kratos' signature weapons, the Blades of Chaos. They also talked about fuck it. All right. The game was praised for its storytelling, combat system, and visuals, and became a commercial success, selling over 4.6 million copies worldwide, spawning several spin-offs and sequels, as well as a feature film adaptation that never happened.
Really?
Yeah. So anyway, that is God of War. And I think no, because A4 also hadn't played it.
Really?
Right, so.
until last year.
Oh, you fucking loser. Did you not have a PS2 or what?
Now his
I
parents.
did. I
involved
just
in.
played good games.
Oh, please.
I played Devil May Cry.
Oh, yeah. Super good. You're
Ratchet
just,
and Clank.
you know,
That
you,
explains
you,
a lot about your sexuality.
yeah, your androgynous love, your love for the androgynous main character, that does say a lot about your sexuality.
Yeah, me and Joe are. Me and Schweiss are straight, and we love muscly, ripped men.
Yeah, you fucking
know,
fag.
If you think Dante is androgynous, then I want to know what kind of women you have in your life. Because that's,
I mean, he is, man. That's the big complaint about DMC. People are like, oh, they changed his
they
look.
fucked
Like,
with his design. They made him
oh,
look like
yeah.
a
He
fucking
looks like
idiot.
a man, not like maybe a man.
Oh yeah, he looks like a man who fucking buys tampons for his fucking emo girlfriend in that game. Okay, yeah.
Whatever, man.
All
Chicks
right.
bleed. They got to soak it up somehow.
God of War
God of
was the
Jesus.
14th highest selling PS2 title. And
Number one.
it
being,
is
Devil May Cry.
considered one of the greatest games of all time, or at least one of the greatest PlayStation 2 games of all time by many a publication.
Yeah. And, of course, the PS2 being the most stacked console of all time. That's quite the statement.
Except for the Super NES. And
Yeah.
this was forced upon us by Dead Islander,
Yeah.
Forest. It was
of all
beautiful.
people.
Thank you, Dylander.
Yeah. It was an optional forcing, and then you guys all voted to do this. I'm glad you did.
So, story. This game follows Kratos as he tries to kill the god of war for reasons which we find out throughout the game are that he was apparently forced or tricked into killing his own family in order to become like the perfect weapon for Ares.
Yeah. He didn't know they were gonna be there, and in his Spartan rage.
Yeah, even though that old bitch totally told him, like, hey, you're going to regret it. And then he did it anyway.
And he's like, shut up, crone. And then he goes and kills his family.
Yeah, so he wants to seek revenge because Ares stripped away the last of his humanity,
Well,
essentially.
first he tries to kill himself a few times.
Yeah, like a little pussy, but then he gets over that.
He
I think
tries to
it's-
kill himself at the end of the game. It's just that the game starts in media res. where it's like, and Kratos killed himself, but that was here's how we got there.
I know, but I think it's funny that the game starts with a failed suicide attempt. So is Kratos
don't know it's a
actually
failed suicide.
is
You don't
Kratos
know it's a
actually
failed.
good, or is he just an idiot?
Yeah.
You don't know that it's a failed suicide attempt until the end of the game.
Yeah, and to think after getting that final boss done just to kill yourself, weak, man. That thing was a bitch.
Yeah.
That's like beating cancer and then hanging yourself after. It's like
So
Yeah.
the story of this game is there's a big, great gray man who screams a lot.
great.
Yeah.
So essentially, Kratos is tasked by the gods to kill Ares. Kind of secretly, because they're like, hey, we can't like have a divine intervention, but fuck the douchebag. You need to kill him. And like, this is what he did to you. And Kratos is like, okay.
We're sick
All the
of
way.
him blaring his Pantera at all hours of the night and waging war on all of us.
Hey,
Well, I
he
like how he's
wages
attacking
war.
Phoenix. He's like, she's a bitch, and he just
Dude.
goes for her.
As far as I can tell with the timeline, he's raging war out there for like a whole month. That guy is just like standing out there and like destroying things and killing people, and yet there's still like a semblance of a city by the time you get back to him.
Yeah. I do love
my
that.
favorite part is at the very end, like the last cutscene. It just shows Athens in fucking ruins, and then the narrator's like, "Athens had been saved." It just
Yeah.
reminds me of that SpongeBob episode where it's like, "We did it, Patrick. We saved the town, and everything's on fucking fire."
Yeah. It's like, yeah, really saved. I haven't seen an alive person the entire time since I've come back.
We saved the town, all right. There was a guy who was about 160 feet tall, literally stomping on people and throwing fireballs for a day straight.
Yeah.
Sounds fine.
My favorite reaction was years ago when I was having Craig play the game for the first time, when Ares like picks up the pillar and like chucks it, and he was like, "Oh man, you know how crazy it'd be if he like hit Kratos with that?" And then I was just thinking like, "Well, what do you think he's doing?" And then it hits him and he fucking yells out like a what? Like a fucking like he's like, "What the fuck? How did he do that?" And I was like, "Dude, he's a god of war. He can do whatever he wants." I was like, "What do you think he's doing?" Yeah, just fucking owns him. And you're like, oh my god. Like, oh, I guess he's dead. I guess you can't kill yourself if you're already dead.
I wish they would do the scene like that, but they're like when he throws the pillar, it's like the scene in Austin Powers. They're like, oh my god, that's a big juice and melons, but it's about the column. As everyone in Greece is like watching this column fly past them.
Yeah,
And then we go back into like the underworld to hit him in Tartarus. Like,
yeah. And then the best part about the game, that poor captain of the ship in the beginning, dude.
that's
Like
my
he just
favorite
gets fucked.
fucking
Like
part, dude.
Yeah.
you fucking come back and he gets eaten by the Hydra, and then you go
He's like, you came back for me, not for you. And it's like
chucks him, and then later
He just kills this
Joe,
guy for
Joe,
no
are
actual
you-
reason.
Are you gonna play the second game, Joe?
he already said no.
Okay, so
What do you mean? I
there's
already
a-
said no. What are you talking about?
I asked
I
you.
never
and you
said that on the show, did I?
The boat captain comes back in the second game,
Yeah, can't leave him be.
and you kick him into hell. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, in this one you send him back down too. It's the, like when you go to
The
hell.
Hydra's stomach.
Yeah, no, he dies and then he goes to hell, and then he's
That's
like,
right. It is this game. Sorry.
yeah, he's hanging on this ledge, and you fucking like grab onto him and then stab through him to climb him, and then you knock his ass off again. He's like, you again?
Every time you see this, yeah, every time you fuck this guy's life up in the game, it's just like,
Yeah,
Well, I could tell you were gonna play something because you were peeking again.
yeah. So
how about I peek a fucking look into your fucking future?
You're still
where I
peeking. You're still peeking.
Beat the shit out of you. I also changed it, so I changed it back, so it's not using the sound.
Yeah,
drops
now
anymore,
it's
so I
fine,
shouldn't
but
be
it was
peeking.
peeking when you were trying to threaten me, so I knew you were fucking around.
yeah, so the story, yeah, pretty much, the God of War has been sending you on these missions for years now.
It's been 10 years.
And the other gods are getting real tired of his bullshit. And I mean, he is the God of War, but apparently they don't like that, and now they're mad at him for waging war, which is
I mean,
literally
here's the
his
thing.
job.
Here's the thing. You can be the God of War and not be a prick. I feel.
Yeah, I
I feel
mean,
like you can. I feel like you can be like, hey, yeah, they're fighting, but
killing
gonna hang out.
Kratos' family was a pretty douchebag move.
yeah.
But the cool thing is, like, there's a flashback, right, where you you get that line that I did for the pre-roll where basically you're about to die in one of the fights because you're this like highly esteemed commander, right? And you've got like a super legion of Spartans, but you get your ass kicked by the barbarians. And right before you die, you call on Ares to save you, and you'll basically become his servant. And so Ares looks down, sees that you're like a badass, and then burns fucking chains to your arms with sick blades on them, and then
I
you just
love the Blades of Chaos. It's so cool.
and then you just wreck this the barbarians after that. Well, you kill one of them, and then the rest of their heads explode. So then you become his servant, but then he tricks you into killing your family, and pretty metal. Like fucking, you kill him, and then the village burns down, and then like the ashes of your dead wife and child like plaster your skin so that your shame can be known by everyone, and you are the ghost of Sparta.
Indestructible by Disturbed starts play.
Yeah. Dude, it's like I love this era of games. Like it's just unapologetically fucking hardcore. Like, and
I do love it too. I really do.
I love the Greek stuff, and there's a lot of other elements that we'll talk about later that I enjoy too. But I like the story. It's pretty simple. Nothing too crazy. I like all the Greek gods that you kind of come into contact with.
It's a good old fashioned revenge story, and it's good. I mean, it gets better too. The games get better. Well, at least 2 is better. Yeah. And the story is cool, but there's some stuff to the story that you don't know yet because the first game doesn't explain it. But we won't go into that, I guess. But I don't know.
I also like that part at the end where you have to defend your family against like all the spirits.
That's the first time I broke a controller. I fucking smashed my old PS3 controller. I was so mad. I was playing it on the second to hardest difficulty, and I was getting fucking smacked, dude.
You know what controllers are unbreakable? The Pro controller.
Yeah.
They're only $60.
Should have plugged into your Pro controller trademark. It would have broken you.
I was gonna say, if you're playing on like the second hardest difficulty, that makes sense.
It's hard.
I was gonna say, just use the fucking Hades army or whatever the fuck, like fully powered up.
That one's good. I always like the Poseidon Rage more, just because I like seeing that combo tick like a motherfucker.
It's just good. It's good for crowd control, but also
the Hades one's better because you can like
easy.
Go around and hit while it's going off. That one's good for that.
Either way, both of those are really good for getting that, like, I think it's like a 200 hit combo for the trophy for the PS3 version.
Yeah, I think I got up to like 400 at one point. It's probably at the end there.
At some point I got like something disgusting.
Yeah. So I don't know. I like the story, man. I think it's cool. I really like Greek mythology. Like, not to the point where I'm like studying it, but I've always thought it was interesting, and I've always like had an interest in it. And like, I liked the movie Hercules as a kid.
Hercules peak Greek mythology. Accurate Greek mythology.
That's right.
Loving mother.
I also love Greek mythology. Like, I like the movie Hercules, but like, it's just funny how like actual Greek mythology is just like, what if like the gods were a bunch of petty assholes?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's fair, bro. But you do find that out in like the God of War games too. Like, it does give you that aspect later on.
Yeah.
The pettiness of the gods.
See, Kratos is just a regular guy, and he's strong enough to kill everyone around him that's a total prick, so he does it. That's pretty much what the story here.
Well, it's like it's like they're petty assholes in this game too, where it's just like, hey, we need you to kill Ares, and then we'll forgive your sins or whatever.
Just kidding.
At the end, it's just like, we'll forgive you, but you're not going to forget about this.
No one can forget the nightmares. And then,
also, we're not going to let you kill yourself, which is going to come and bite us in the ass.
Real quick, I like when he tries to kill himself, and they let him hit the water first. And then they live.
Maybe they were busy. They were like, "Oh shit!"
Hey, did you guys grab Kratos? Oh fuck!
Athena's like, who? It's
just pull him out of the water. He's fine. Yeah. And then I don't know, man. I like this thing. I think it's sweet. I like the fact that the willow tree from Pocahontas is narrating the whole thing.
I forget what her name is. The voice actress, but
she's good, man.
All of them.
She's good. And then
John Smith.
Yeah.
Fought Ares.
Colors of the wind.
John Smith threw himself
Kratos.
from the highest peak
Yeah.
in all of Virginia.
And Kratos sang along to the colors of the wind, harnessing his naturistic self.
And Kratos killed
You think
Coco.
you own all the land you land on.
Yeah.
The earth is not just a dead thing you can claim, Harry.
Yeah.
Because I know every rock and tree and creature is filled with blood.
Good lord. I have not seen that since I was a child. I don't know how
Yeah, I haven't either.
you guys
Dude,
remember
Colors
the
of
word.
the Wind is a fucking banger.
It's not even that good of a movie either, from what I remember.
It's not, no.
I remember the song Savages, too, like, briefly.
Oh,
We're talking with Ares is doing his number about the Spartans, and he's like, the savages.
I remember the song Savages too because I had to use a clip of it in a meme where I was talking about all of us going down to the Elizabeth Warren rally and it's just like, drive them from our shores, and he's just tossing them all muskets.
yeah. Guys, turns out she's not Indian. Not even the dot or feather. Oh.
We're already in the middle of the song. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, no, I haven't seen that movie for a long time.
Yeah, me either. I just remember that one
But you remember-
snippet of that song for this joke, and I'm glad I did, honestly.
yeah.
Yeah. I like the story though. Number 2, we got Michael Clark Duncan, my favorite black man of all time. I love him.
Rest in peace, Michael Clark.
He was he plays what's the one that holds up the earth? Titan?
Atlas.
Atlas, yeah, duh, Atlas. He plays Atlas.
Love Greek
Oh, but he doesn't
mythology.
talk in
Love
this
it.
game.
No, Atlas doesn't talk in this game. Oh, do we even see Atlas in this one? I don't think we see Atlas.
I guess the
There's
second
like the statue of him.
Yeah. In number 2, you go.
Are you sure you don't mean Kronos?
No, it's Atlas. He's not in this game though. I'm talking about 2.
Okay.
I'm just getting excited for.
a game that we haven't reviewed.
He was
And we'll never.
You know what? No, hey, Schweitz, let's just beat the rest of them and review them. Let's
yeah,
just have
I
the
was thinking
ultimate-
about that.
Go for it, guys.
The ultimate God of War podcast.
I was
Go for
thinking
it.
about it. I honestly was when I finished 1 and I finished jacking off to it. I was like, you know what? Let's do number 2.
You're jacking off to the fucking to that awesome cutscene at the end where it's just like, and Kratos became the god of war for everyone forever, including in Afghanistan. Indestructible determination.
Yes. Including when he
I don't think
killed
that
all
album was
those
even out when that fucking game came
all
out.
No,
those
it wasn't.
god-forsaken savages in the sands. Da 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 da.
I think it's interesting that they do. I don't know if they thought they were gonna make any more because you get that cutscene where it's like in the future, and then it's like he doesn't make it that far. Like
Yeah, I mean he can. I mean maybe he does. I don't know. He leaves his native lands though in a pretty epic way. But yeah, man, I like it. Fuck, I think it's cool. I enjoy the story.
I like the story too. Honestly, I like it a
Simple,
lot.
simple, effective story.
Simple yet elegant is what A4 meant to say.
And it does have its like emotionally gripping moments where like it has to do with his family because like I knew he killed his family like way before I started this, but like they really lead you on in the beginning, not realizing until like close to the end of the game that he was responsible for killing his family. Like they kind of hide that from you. So like if I played this without like knowing that beforehand, that probably would have hit a lot harder.
A4 might have cried.
Maybe
He might
I
have
don't know.
wept even.
Yeah,
Nah, it's too hardcore to
even about the big gray man who screamed.
Yeah,
made me cry.
God of War is testosterone. It's what it is. It's testosterone.
Yeah, you got
Well,
the
this
fucking
one.
mini games. You got the
So-
violence. You got the
So
epic
actually,
music. Yeah, it's
with
like
God of War, I played the third one first.
oh really?
I never had a PS2, so I ended
That
up playing the
one's-
third one first, and I was like, I should play the rest of them. And so then I bought the collection for PlayStation 3, and I played them all in 3, and I was like, I'm a better
Dude,
person for playing these.
Yeah, I played 1. I think Cody Beale from the Cody and Sarah Chronicles from long ago. He had
Way to drop his last name.
oh shit, Cody B. Cody Bill. Sorry. Not that he's gonna ever hear this, but
That
anyway.
was about an hour. That was about an hour and 15 minutes in. If you want to bleep that.
No, I don't care. So he had God of War 2. He bought it when it was greatest hits, and I was like pumped, man, because I think I had just barely played through God of War 1, and we were super poor because we were like kids. You know, we didn't have any fucking money at all. And so when that went greatest hits, which was $20 back in the day, we played the shit out of God of War 2. Like, I played it a few times. So like
I like God of War 2 a lot.
Yeah, it's really good. The combat is a lot better.
I started it. I didn't get super far, but
yeah,
I like God of War 2 a lot.
the weapons are really good.
I mean, this is one of my favorite franchises in video games. I fucking love the God of Wars.
Yeah, man, it's top 5. It's up there in my 5.
Fantastic.
My Mount Rushmore of games.
Mm.
Oh, I think there's only 4. Has there 5 people up there?
There's
What do we
4.
got? Yeah, there's only 4. All right,
Conan the Barbarian, not even a video game character.
Conan,
Kratos.
Kratos.
Not even Greek mythology. Okay, next one.
Yzamat.
Yeah, Izamat, not anyone from Final Fantasy, just a boss. And then the stealth ninjas are the 5th one from Parasite Eve 2, so you can't actually see him. So it is 5 on the mountain. The other one's invisible. He's invisible, but he's gonna choke you out, and it's gonna suck because you're gonna gain control.
Mount Rushmore.
And your brain's not going to remember that it's tank controls, and so you're going to get grabbed again.
A4, before you say anything, I think your gaming Mount Rushmore is all the hentai games you've played.
You're close. It's classic Sonic, and then Dreamcast era Sonic, and then modern Sonic, and then Sonic Boom Sonic.
Yeah. No, I'm really into these though, so I'm gonna give my scores don't count though. Whose game is this actually? A4 and Zach?
It's me and Joe.
No.
But A4 was gonna be a part of
Zach
the review,
and I.
right? Because he beat it.
But don't worry, we'll just let you guys talk.
I beat it kind of near the end of last year, and then I beat it again early this year to get the trophy for beating it.
I think all 4 of us can count. If we all 4 beat it.
Sweet.
Let's make this a random Uber review.
It was a random Uber because Schweiss just suddenly decided to beat it, and it's only been a couple months for A4. So
yeah, I heard Tale of Joe getting stuck on a boss, and I was like, oh, or it wasn't even a boss; it was a puzzle, and I was like, oh, let's go, let's do it. So
You're like, fucking loser. Just kidding, Joe. I'm sorry.
yeah, I'm
the
gonna
box puzzle with the floor covered in spikes.
Yes, that's the hard one. There's 1 and 2 that's even worse, dude.
That one
It
does
is
make
way
me swear
worse.
quite a bit.
that makes me want to play it so bad.
It should. Number 2 is fantastic, Joe. Seriously, number 2 is great. Number 3 is fucking fun. It's great.
I'm echoing A4's sentiments. I thought really simple story, but pretty well done. Could have maybe used a little bit more meat on the bone, but I don't know what I'm asking for from like an action game that's like 10 hours long.
Yeah.
So in that respect, I think it's really solid. Probably 8 out of 10 on the story front.
All right, I'm gonna give it a 9. What about you, A4? Oh, Zach. Sorry, Zach.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
I forgot it was your review.
I think I would give it an 8 because it's very simple. It's got good moments. It's not like the greatest story ever told or anything, but like for your like bog standard Greek epic, it gets the job done pretty well, and it goes a lot of different places. So it's got a good variety to it.
Oh, I'm gonna echo Schweiss's 9. I think it is fantastic. Nostalgia is not covering my eyes. I fucking love this game.
Yeah.
And I was reminded how much I loved it by playing it.
Yeah, the moment you hit that soundtrack, which is not the next category. First, we got to talk about gameplay. So, how does this thing play?
Back in a second.
What do you guys think about it? Like, do you like the puzzles? Because it is kind of like an action. It obviously is an action adventure game, so we have lots of fighting, lots of puzzles.
Yeah, it's very clearly modeled after something like Devil May Cry or character action.
Yeah, it's like they looked at a Devil May Cry game and they thought, what if this was fun?
What if this was worse?
Made for men. What would that look like? And then they did. Now there's like, there's discovery. There's a lot of little hidden paths, just little side stuff that you can find. Like one of the puzzles, that one where you have like a little wheel where you move the little fucking like Tetris pieces. You move the Tetris pieces around. I did that whole puzzle, and then I noticed that I was like, "What's the little nub for?" And then I remembered, I jumped up on the thing and I could see that there was a little platform up above. So I loaded my save up again, and then I pushed the little nub over to the sidewall, and then I pushed the little bigger nub up, and I jumped up there and I got like a shitload of orbs. So like there's a lot of little hidden things that you can find to upgrade your character and give you
a lot of lot of secrets made for exploring. Although it is really simple, it's pretty much health, mana, like things to increase your health and mana, and then the experience orbs, which you can put into your weapons. You get 2 weapons throughout the course of the game, and then these specialty magic moves, which you're granted to by the gods after you complete different challenges in the game. And then, a big part of this thing, though, as far as like action gameplay is concerned, circa 2004 or 5, whenever this came out, was combos. Lots of combos.
Yep. Get your combos here.
Yeah, get your combos here, because, with certain guys that you're fighting against, it's good to get them off their feet and stuff like that, or you want to do crowd control with, like, spinning moves and crap. There's a lot there, although A4 did make a reference that there wasn't that much there, which was very interesting at the beginning of this review.
No, it's that.
So I'd want to get into that, I guess.
Well, it's just that, like, doing like the challenges and stuff, it seems like this game thinks that its combat system is tighter than it actually is, because it's sort of like expecting you to pull off all these crazy moves when there's just not as much animation canceling or whatever when it comes to pulling off different combos with Kratos. I mean, a lot of it is very simple because the Blades of Chaos have such a wide arc that it is just easy to kind of button mash and get like a lot of hits on different enemies. And if you want to like hone in, and I forget if it's L1 or R1, but you can use that button to like modify your attacks and do like launchers and whatnot, or like spin the blades around. And there are interesting ways to sort of experiment and figure out what moves connect with which.
Yeah.
It just feels like a slightly looser version of like a Devil May Cry type combat system, or like a Bayonetta combat system. But I think what God of War 1 like lacks in terms of combat, it makes up for with the exploration, which is way better than something like a Devil May Cry or a Bayonetta.
Yeah.
Where there's a lot of different puzzles that like there are slightly like different solutions you can do for certain puzzles. Like I was talking about the ballista earlier. You get like a ballista that fires these arrows, and you're supposed to hit a door in front of you to open it, but then like you can use a wheel to rotate it to the left, and that opens up a secret room with experience orbs, and then you can use it to open up a wall to the right.
Yeah.
You can like jump across that to get more experience orbs.
And then
there's a ton.
Later you can use it to fuck up the dudes that come through the one door too. If you get there fast enough, you can fuck those guys pretty hard.
Yeah, so I might give this game's combat shit compared to something like made by the Japanese, but honest to God, like the exploration parts of this are way better than those games anyway, so it kind of makes up for it.
There's a parry too. There's a parry if you time it right.
I mean, this is a competent action game. It's very well made. I don't like the feel of it. I feel
like there's a butt coming when he says that.
No, I don't like it as much as like Devil May Cry or Bayonetta when it comes to like execution and like trying to pull off.
I think it's a lot better than Devil May Cry 1. I think anyone that says otherwise is crazy.
Well, yeah, anything's better than fucking Devil May Cry 1.
Not Devil May Cry 2.
I don't have any
I'm
Devil May
Devil Cry 3
Cries.
onward.
I don't have any Devil May Cries to compare this to. I don't give a fuck. This game has not aged that well in the combat department or in the
platforming.
The platforming
walking
elements,
across small spaces.
Anything having to do with movement in this game is there's some real clunky, chunky elements to it. I think
a real clunky, chunky kind of PS2 game.
The thing that gets in my brain with the combat that kind of ticks me off, and yes, I know the blades will cover the area, but you still cannot accurately target guys if they're anything but in 90-degree increments. You cannot hit a 45-degree attack in this game, which is insane to me. So those kind of things just kind of bug me, and it's even more prevalent when you're like on the walls, like you're scaling walls.
It's only prevalent
guys.
when you're on the wall, because I don't know what you're talking about.
It's not only prevalent when you're on the wall. No, it's prevalent throughout every single bit of combat in this game.
It's there.
You do not have the subtlety of movement, even like, and I wouldn't even call it that subtle. Like, why can't I not hit into like a 40? How about a 50-degree angle? Like, why can't I even?
Yeah.
Like, there's no increment. It's just like it's so man. It's like caveman-esque. The nuance that
it's like the
that
tank
this game has
controls
in
of
the
action
combat.
games almost, because you can flip it around, but it's still only in those 4 different angles. It's like you get like 6 points of axis, which it was a
I didn't feel that
A4,
way. So I'm
you
gonna have to replay
literally
it.
mentioned this when you
did.
had first played it and came onto the podcast and were like, well, I wish I could have more of the axis on the... You said that.
You're gonna
And
have
then
to
I
find the exact clip, 'cause
experienced
I
it
straight up
and
do
I
not remember
remembered
saying
it.
that.
Okay,
straight
I'm
up don't remember
glad.
saying that.
I'm glad that the other God of Wars gave you amnesia for this one. That's really good hope that the other 2 God of Wars are much better in that respect. The other
I
thing,
barely played God of War 2. I'm just saying I don't remember having that thought. And if I don't remember it, then it didn't happen. It's just that simple.
clearly. The other aspect of it, that was the movement stuff, like the platforming. Most of the time it's forgiving when it's like the jumping around type stuff, but anything to do, and these are actual challenges in this game, anything to do with like moving spikes or anything like that, like this game, you will
Or
be
ropes.
like the hitbox for spikes, and the rope swing movement is awful, by the way, awful. You will be 4 feet away from a spike, and Kratos like smells it coming towards him, and then he goes and he just like jumps off and falls to his death. And there are lots of spikes in this game. This game is lousy with spikes. There's spikes fucking everywhere. So in like one area in every puzzle, there's some hellhole of spikes somewhere. And these spikes, by the way, the bane of my existence. Like the first one that came up was in the Poseidon area that almost made me cry. Dude, the fucking when you're having to do this like dive down thing with this horrible control scheme in order to dip down into a ditch before like these spikes come, a spike wall comes and rails your ass. That part almost made me cry. How many times I had to do that, dude.
I did that like
Yeah, that one's
twice.
bad.
Once you get it, it's fine.
Yeah, once you get it, it's fine is the answer to every single God of War thing, because then you're like, on to the next thing. And luckily there are save points all over this game, so it's not like you have to like, and if you die, you can just come back up. So it's not like you have to then re-experience hell over and over and over again past the point in which you just like that one time you eke by.
Yeah.
There was that. There was the one where it was above everything. There was like you were like in the scaffolding at the top of this massive building.
Oh,
and you
yeah.
gotta like tiptoe like a fucking ballerina across this fucking tiny little two-by-fours.
I'm sorry, what? How did you pronounce that?
Two-by-fours. Macabre. Anyway.
Two before is my brother's name. Because A4, that's the joke. Anyway.
Oh,
I get it now.
I didn't get it.
It was a bad joke. It was a bad joke.
It was really bad. Let's sit on it for a little longer.
Yeah, let's keep talking about it.
But it's okay. You cut me off, and therefore I can't finish my thought. A4. You cut me off with your 2x4.
The 2x4s are pretty bad. The way you power through it is to be manly and just jump. Don't even fucking play their game of balance.
Dude, no, you can't just jump.
Like a
can't
big
just
hog
jump.
motherfucker.
No, actually, the only time I was able to get through it was when I very carefully went through it. Like
man.
I couldn't rush anything. And then the third one that almost made me cry, and I was like,
yeah, the spike pillar.
the spike pillar near the end of the game. Dude, that one was like too much. I wonder if I can find the recording of me.
I don't think I got hit by the first one. The first one I did 100% this time, but the second one I didn't.
God.
I didn't. I think I might have died once on the second one. Like I got hit enough to die, and then I did it. But there's a lot, and you gotta like there's pillars moving in opposing directions with like different layered levels of spikes on it, and so you'll be like holding on before you get to the top one, and then the bottom one will hit you because you can't jump up because you'll get hit by one, so you get hit by the bottom instead. So you gotta be fast, man, and you can't really be fast, but you gotta be.
There's like one exact critical path between all of that shit.
Yeah, and you gotta jump like crazy too. You gotta just fucking go, man. You have to process what you're seeing really, really quickly, or you're gonna have to fucking dodge like a madman. So if you miss
thank God the fucking the trophy to not get hit by that only counts for the first part of it.
Yeah.
Once you get to the second one, you get it. So.
I must be thinking of God of War 2 because I was thinking it was like a path leading down to an area where you had like just a fuckload of dudes that you had to kill. I think I'm thinking of a God of War 2 trophy. But that's what I thought it was when I re-looked at the list, even though I have the platinum. And I was like, is that like spiral downwards that's just fucking dudes everywhere and you gotta win before the fucking wall crushes your ass? And I'm like, I think that might be God of War 2, actually. But the spikes are
like that in God of War 1. It's not on a spiral, but there is a part where there's like a wall coming to crush your ass and you have to kill all those dudes.
Yeah,
there was that part.
Oh man, can you imagine?
I also straight up like the control scheme of, because you gotta do these combos, like finishing move combos, but with the bosses, if you don't do the finishing move combo,
you don't win.
You gotta do it again. The boss will then recover health, and then you have to get it back down again, and then you have to try the combo again.
I mean, I feel like
that can
be mitigated if you're good at the game.
Shut the fuck up, Zach.
Dude, I do know because I played it. I didn't have any problem with the bosses.
Now, the one boss that I had trouble
dude.
with this was probably the Minotaur. I fucked his up like twice.
Yeah.
And then the first boss, if you
swear to God, I spent 45 minutes on that Minotaur, dude.
I lied. There's a couple of times where I went to run and I fucked up and didn't make it to the Minotaur in time. I'll be honest.
It's too many of those button things, and there's not enough time, dude. It's like on extreme mode. It's not on hard mode. I'm playing the game on fucking easy because I suck ass at it, dude.
But
I was dying, and the game was like, hey, you look like you suck. You want to play it on an easier difficulty? And I'm like, yes, I do.
There's a
but it didn't matter when it came to that. When it came to that, it was like, fuck you. And the thing with that fucking Minotaur, dude, the thing with that fucking Minotaur thing was and I still, for the life of me, cannot figure exactly how it wants me to move the analog sticks. Like, I'm not like... The stick flick icon does not match what ended up being how it wanted it to be.
You tell that to your girlfriend. You're like, fuck.
Stick
baby,
flick.
you're telling me this way and it's not working. It's not working.
I use cheat codes for that too. The stick flick icon is like this, like it'll have like a 3/4 of the way around thing with an arrow button. You don't even have time to make that move.
Yeah, I just do
what
like
it is
a
a flick
circle.
in one direction and a flick in the other direction. That's what it actually wants. Why didn't it give me like a 1/6 of the way thing with like a small arrow? Like that would have made sense. I would have like been able to figure that out. I never did the flicks on the Medusas, so I was not used to like what it actually wanted when I got there. Dude, I was so frustrated. I went on like fucking forums to see who else had problems with this. Like someone
there was
else.
No one there. And
there's always one other person having the same problems as me. This one other guy was like, dude, I can't. What? How am I supposed to flick it? I just try to flick it. And then everybody else is on there going like, "Well, you just get good at the game. I don't see what the problem is. You just flick it in the direction that it wants you to flick it in."
And then it's me and Schweiss answering Joe's questions, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Oh my fucking God! And then on the last boss, because the combo on the last boss was dickish, dude, because it was 3 in a row.
Yeah, dude.
That was 3 in a row. And the fight takes forever.
And he hits fucking hard, too.
Yeah. So, well, he doesn't hit that hard and easy. But it's 3 in a row. And just hitting those things, like the timing on them is insane. Like, I suck at active, what do you call those things? Like active?
Quick time events.
Quick time events, yeah.
Quick time events, thank you.
Why were you saying active?
Active time battles.
Final
probably
Fantasy.
my
Watson
head.
was,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's where I was going to.
Quick time events are the worst. It's one of the reasons. One of the other reasons that I didn't play Resident Evil 4 past like the 30-minute mark was because of the quick time events, dude. Like I just can't do them.
He's a man that had to
Like-
use a pencil to finish Metal Gear Solid 1. He's like,
these
yeah,
are-
dude, just get a pencil and like move it back and forth really fast over the circle button, and you'll make it. I was like, what?
Joe, I have a question.
I don't
yeah,
have like super masturbation hands. I don't like my.
Which
My
is
hands
weird,
are not a
'cause at this
natural
point-
vibrator.
at
They're
this
not.
point, you should.
You don't need super masturbation hands. Joe, were you playing this on PlayStation Now, right?
Yeah, there was problems with that, but that I wouldn't call. I don't think that was why I was.
I
having
think
problems.
there's a level of input lag that is causing your woes.
Yeah, and we got
Possibly.
you got that added to the fact that we have a wireless controller, which will have very, very unnoticeable, normally input lag, and you can start compounding all these
the
things.
DualSense controller is
Yeah.
great. It's got wireless. It's only got a little bit of input lag. It's $80 trademark.
Yeah. Yeah, but it came with the console, bitch.
Yeah, but you can't take your PS5 in the fucking toilet with you.
Yeah, but if I gotta actually shit, it's gonna die before I get done.
All right.
By the way, real quick, did you see that?
Joe, this easy mode, these are like games on easy mode from like a long time ago. All right, it's not like these new easy modes where it's like you get your thing where it's like, you know, easy, medium, whatever, and it tells you and it's like your like regulars like balanced combat for you to enjoy the story, but also play this. And then Easy's like, do you want to enjoy the story and just not have fun? No gameplay. And you played Nier Automata on that, didn't you?
You're literally
like-
doing.
And
You're
it's
literally
like,
doing.
oh,
And there was a good
And it's
chunk of Nier Automata in which I thought I was actually the one doing the combat. Like
Oh man, I got
that's
really
how
good
hilarious that is.
I
Zach,
just think there's a difference between like old school easy and this easy.
Zach, you're literally doing the thing from the Wolfenstein.
Yeah, that's toxic
difficulty select,
masculinity.
where he's wearing a fucking where he's wearing a baby bonnet and he's got a binky and it's like, can I play daddy?
Yeah, that's toxic masturbability.
Got to get those
No.
masturbation hands in order to play God of War, Joe.
No,
Come on.
so yeah, this
You gotta get your
game
clit rubbing hands for that.
Yeah.
game was
rub a
play-
pencil over her clit. Back.
Yeah, you do that to that. I can't get her off, dude. I gotta fucking use a pencil. I gotta
I was like,
rotate a
dude,
pencil
if
back and
you
forth.
tried This pencil, does it vibrate? No, it's a number 2, bro.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Don't worry-
use
don't
the
worry, babe.
eraser.
Don't worry, baby. I got one of those erasers that's shaped like a fucking like trapezoid that comes up at a point. So it's not gonna hurt as bad.
Yeah.
Well, like those breaks, it like breaks off because like they're like start like breaking at the end of the pencil. So it's like, oh fuck, I lost it.
We're getting down to the metal. You better hurry up, bitch.
all right. What I'm saying is this game is aged, and it's aged poorly. And then I also hate QuickTime events, and I hate platforming. So
Yeah, the platforming is
There are
rough.
Marco in the chat, by the way, says that QTEs in 13.2 weren't a problem for you in 2017.
he's saying that I don't remember.
There's some. It's not like like this though. And
No, those had like a little like a bar going like you better press it by this time. It's not like in God of War where it's just like
quick.
Arbitrary.
instant.
God of War 2 does the left and right stuff though. They do more of that, and it's a little better. But one of the problems in this one, the platforming, that very first boss when you're fighting the Hydra, I fucking did this like 6 times. I was getting so mad. You try to like, you gotta knock out one of the heads, and then the head kind of like, oh fuck, I'm hurt, and then lays down, and you gotta go jump onto this.
Just like when you have sex.
Yeah, my head's like, oh, no more.
Then you drop a spike through it.
Yeah, and then you have to jump on this little thing that has a spike on it. Dude, I could not for the life of me jump onto that fucking thing. I had to do it like over and over again. I was like, what the fuck? I jump too far. I don't jump enough. I just walk off. Like the timing of it was fucked. So there, you're right. It has aged poorly in some respects, I would say. Like the controls aren't as smooth as they would be in later entries, and it's stuff that you kind of do notice a little. I don't think it wasn't as much of a problem for me as it was for you, but I definitely feel it, especially in the platformy kind of stuff, because it's just a lot.
I personally noticed it a lot.
Yeah.
And also could have really used a lock on in this game.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
Yeah, but that would have required him to move more than in 90-degree increments.
Yeah,
he would have had to like strafe.
He rolls in 90-degree increments too.
Yeah, it's atrocious, especially when you got to go. You literally have to go 45 degrees through the spike room. Like,
yeah. Oh, you don't roll through the spike room. You just push, man. You got to power push that block.
Or is it the spike room that I'm thinking of? No. Oh, yeah, the spike room was hell. Oh, no, that was another one. Oh, thanks for reminding me of that thing.
Aphrodite's jewel.
Oh, what do you have on that? It's like 23 seconds to get the fucking block, and then the camera kills you every time around that corner. There's like a little, just a bit of a hesitation, and you are
honest
fucked.
to God, that was the thing that threw me off the most with this game, was that the camera, you don't control the camera, and then like every time I go to move the right stick in order to control the camera, it's the dodge stick. So Kratos just like dodges almost off a fucking cliff or something.
Yeah. I like it. There's only a couple times where the camera does actually screw with me. But it's normally just annoyances. Like this one, that puzzle was kind of rough. But there's another room pretty close by that where you go in there, and like I went out and in like 9 times. I could not, like, my mind would not wrap around how I was supposed to like manage this simple task of walking through a doorway. I couldn't. I was like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm
breaking the 180-degree rule, and when they do that, it's going to screw you up.
Yeah, I don't know. To this moment, I don't know how to exactly do that. Like, do I keep going like I was going, or was I doing that, and that was what was punishing me? And I
is it like that Resident Evil 10 controls fixed camera angle thing, where like you try to course correct when the camera angle changes,
and it fucks you
backwards?
Yeah, because it knows that it's about to fuck you, so it doesn't fuck you, but you're convinced it's going to fuck you, so then you fuck it up. But I don't know which one's which.
Psychology.
Yeah, I don't know which one actually happens. I still don't know.
It's just psychology at this point.
Yeah, this is just normal psychology. We're just fucking you. We're not making you fuck up. We're just being terrible to you. But there was one of those in this one, and then the one for me, gameplay wise, was the spikes when you're in hell and you're like climbing the fucking like vertebrae chunks. Dude, to get everything in that area, I took way too long. It was like forever, because the last chunk of those things, I could not make it. I kept getting fucked. I kept getting, like, if you heavy attack the archer that's at the checkpoint, he'll fall off and he'll land on some bullshit ledge and he'll shoot your ass if you fucking don't wait for him to fall off the rest of the way. And he did that a couple times. I hit the spikes coming back. I hit the spikes going there. I hit the spikes coming back. It's like over and over and over. I was like fucking
Funny
yelling.
enough, speaking of spikes, at the 2005 Spike Video Game Awards, it was named Best Action Game.
Yeah. Remember that, Spike TV?
Sponsored by Burger King or whatever.
Another channel for men, Spike TV. That was great.
That climbing one fucks me up too. And the fact that I kept going... And I kept getting mad, and so my girlfriend's like, I'm actually not going to spend time with you right now. And I was like, okay, bye.
Don't you hate that shit?
God of War.
That's the word. God of War. It'll ruin
She's
your
like, I don't like
relationship.
So the other day, actually, I was playing Resident Evil, and I was like, fuck. So I got fucked up in this area in Resident Evil 4. And she goes, I don't like the person you become when you're having a hard time in video games. I was like, get used to it, baby, because I suck at them sometimes.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
You better watch your tone, or else I might accidentally kill you, and then your ashes will cover my whole body.
Yeah. Would you like that, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
one of the reasons I retired from Call of Duty, though, because my blood pressure was really bad. So I retired.
That's toxic masculinity.
Anyway,
I think this game has aged a little bit. I think it still holds up fairly well for a game that's almost 20 years old at this point. And when it comes to like the platforming and the what did Joe say, the chunky, clunky parts of this game, I think it might be that thing that I said a few episodes ago, where like all the first-party Sony franchises, the first game's either like mediocre or good, and the second one like blows it out of the water in terms of quality. So I feel like by the time we get to like God of War 2 or 3, if we even review those, they'll play much smoother.
I think Joe should play them to see if he likes it more.
yeah, I mean, I think they're awesome. So I kind of hope you do, but I know you're probably not going to, because you don't care. But they're really good, man. Like, I really love these games.
Yeah, you
Well,
guys play
Jedi
Kingdom
Letter
Hearts.
should have told us to play God of War 2.
I mean,
I was very pleased with how well this game held up for how old it is, and how much I always heard that, like, you know, the Japanese character action games were way better than this, but this is still like a very competent.
I like how the
very
gamers are
solid
super stoked, and
game.
Joe is just like, I hated it.
yeah.
I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it.
Well,
That sounded so-
prove
that
it. What
sounded
would
so
you give
meek.
gameplay?
I didn't hate it.
I'm
Prove it. What'd
teetering
you give
between a
gameplay to?
6 and a 7.
Sounds like hate. I don't know.
That's not hate. Hate would be like a 3 or 2.
What are you gonna give it then?
I will give the gameplay an 8. I think it's incredibly solid. I think there's a little room for improvement in terms of combat and some other systems, like kind of the way some of the magic skills work. Like, did anyone fucking use the Medusa head thing?
No, not really.
Yeah. But still incredibly solid, really well-designed areas, and the combat does feel pretty good when you start getting the hang of, like, which attacks connect with what.
Yeah, the Medusa head was only useful for the big Minotaurs until you figured out the heavy attack launches them in the air, and then there's really no point. Unless you can launch them in the air.
There's a part where it mandates that you freeze one of them on a fucking switch, and then you barely have like a cunt hair's amount of time to run down there to like get through the gate before they unfreeze.
Yeah, that's true. You have to do it then.
Yeah.
But I think you could. I think in the past when I played it, I would freeze people midair and then they would shatter. That was kind of cool.
Yes, you can do that.
But this time I was like, nah.
That does sound pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because if you get frozen in midair, you shatter, and it's like an instant death. So.
Yeah. And it wouldn't matter because there's an arrow that's going to be right up your ass. Because every time you're in one of those fucking fights, there's cunt arrow guys on the sides just waiting, waiting to shove a fucking arrow up your stony cheeks, man. Just fucking. I'm going to also give the gameplay an 8. I think it has aged. I still think it's really fun, but it's definitely, you can tell it's these guys' first foray into this kind of a thing, and it's not as smooth as it could have been. But I still really like it. I think it holds up. I dig it. So 8 out of 10 for me.
Well, because I don't know what Santa Monica did before God of War, but like David Jaffe, the game's director, specifically was the dude behind Twisted Metal before this. So
Yeah.
going from like car combat to, you know, character action adventure game.
Yeah, pretty impressive.
I'm gonna mirror the 8s. I had a lot of fun, honestly, and again, like I was saying earlier, I just remembered how much I love this game and how much fun I have. And I mean, besides some of the puzzles, I feel like if I died during combat, it was my fault. Like, I didn't do what I was supposed to do. So
I don't agree. I don't agree that it was my fault. It was almost always the camera's
that's
fault.
the kind of person you are, and we've understood that, and we're here
Fuck
for
you, Zach. It's aged, but it's not like I was dreading getting on the game. I think usually when I give a game like a 5 or a 6, it's like boring, and clunky. I don't think this was boring. I think it was fun, but then also frustrating in a way where a lot of it was just the age of the game, or being unfair in game design. But it was still pretty fun. I just needed to come on here and bring in the negative aspects that are just going to be boiled over by people who call this one of the greatest games of all time.
It is.
And it might be super influential, but as far as like, is it still fun to play?
Yeah.
I would rather play the 2018 God of War, which I gave all 10s for.
Well, yeah, I mean.
So I'm going to go ahead and give this one a 7 on gameplay.
All right.
It's fun, but it's really flawed.
So next category, sound and music. I think we can all agree 10s across the board here.
I would give it a 10, 100%.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I'm
Soundtrack's
serious.
Great.
Like,
Voice
that's
acting
fucking
is
awesome.
They got a lot of good voice actors for this. I forget who the guy who actually voices Kratos is. Not Christopher Judge. He's fake. And then there's also like a bunch of pretty big name voice actors doing a bunch of the voices for like the gods and stuff. And I don't know all of their names specifically. I'm pretty sure Colonel Campbell from Metal Gear is
I was in there
Zeus.
earlier. I can go back in there and look.
Yeah, I think he
obviously
is.
Grandma Willow from Pocahontas is the narrator, and
Nolan
she kills it
North
every
is in
single time.
there.
Nolan North is in this?
He's in the new
Hades.
one. Oh, is he
No,
Hades?
Hades.
Which game?
Wow.
This one?
Yeah.
No, he has like 2 lines.
Yeah, but still, he's still in it. He's a big name.
Yeah, but then was he a big
He's a
name
big
then?
name. He wasn't a big name in 2005.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
think
talking
so.
like I don't remember who voices the Oracle, the one with her tits out, but like when you hear her going like Kratos, it's like I've heard that voice actress before in a bunch of shit, and I can't put my finger on it, but I know that voice.
Yeah.
But yeah, the voice acting is honestly pretty well done all across the board, and the score is really, really great.
Yeah,
It really
the
gives you
score
that
is
kind of
fucking
like epic
huge.
sword and sandal feel. Yeah.
I'll mirror most of that. The soundtrack to me though is like of the time. It sounds like early 2000s, late 90s Hans Zimmer, which is exactly what it's supposed to sound like, I guess, because that's like Gladiator and Pirates of the Caribbean and stuff. That big, huge kind of feel, kind of score. But at the same time, I don't know. I was definitely humming some of the songs, but I don't know if I would ever put this soundtrack on versus putting on the Gladiator soundtrack. And in that case, I can't give it a perfect score. A perfect score is like I would listen to the soundtrack. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a 9 out of 10 for sound and music. Solid, really solid.
All right. Next category, graphics and design. What do you guys think?
So, really interesting takes on a lot of different Greek mythological figures and creatures. Kratos himself looks extremely iconic, which is crazy when you go to like the in-game like museum mode that shows you like what the character models for certain things looked like before they finalize them. And like up until
You can go
almost
look
the
at
end,
you can go look
Kratos.
at the Medusa titties in that.
Yeah, no, but like almost up until the end, Kratos
That
was
is an
going to have
important
like a
aspect of the
blue.
design.
He was going to have a blue mark on his
It was.
fucking body, and I think they changed to red and like giving him the ashy gray skin with like the red mark is like super fucking iconic, and it really
It is.
has stood the test of time.
Well, I mean, like as well, if you look at his Blades of Chaos, they're an iconic video game weapon. Like they're up with other like Golden Gun, the energy sword, stuff like that. Like they're there.
Have you ever actually seen the Golden Gun from the movie? It looks pretty gay.
Well, I mean, from like the game though,
Like
you
it looks,
want it in the
it looks
game,
like
you
a piece of
fucking douche.
shit. Like it looks like he made it in his
Yeah.
metal shop that he just barely like figured out how to use. But in the game, I guess, yeah, it is. It's iconic, but it just
game-
looks
it's
like
the gun you
fucking
need.
ass.
Have you
I
seen The Man
I
with
like
the
the
Golden
one that
Gun?
like
It's a
Ares
terrible
gets
movie.
like the spider legs. And
yeah,
shit. I
Ares
don't know, Idols are
is crazy
sweet.
fucking.
It was rad.
I like that Hades is a weird fish mouth monster.
Yeah, I'm glad he covers that shit up in the later games. I don't want to see that. It's nasty.
Yeah. Like the in-game
It's help,
graphics
dude.
are
Hades in God of War 3 looks fucking rad as fuck though.
Yeah. They Hades is like
think-
the most changed character this side of the mountain from Game of Thrones.
Is that the version of him that's in PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale?
I
got
don't
the
know.
helmet.
He's got the helmet with like
Yeah.
the like furnace looking
Grates.
helmet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's cool.
I think the in-game graphics are about on par with like what the PS2 was doing at this time, like sort of near the end of its life.
Yeah.
The pre-rendered cutscenes are great. I think they still look pretty good.
It's funny though playing this remaster where the pre-rendered cutscenes look definitely worse than the in-game gameplay because they had Blue Point remaster the game. So that was kind of fun to watch because I'm like, oh, now we're going to look at the ass cutscene and then we're going to go back to the
Yeah.
super
you mean
smooth, beautiful
the
gameplay.
cutscenes that aren't pre-rendered, but they're like in-game graphics. They're just cutscenes.
Yeah, those ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
The non-pre-renders, those
You're
look
right.
like hell. But it's because it's the old stuff, and then you go back to the beautifully smoothed over remaster gameplay. It's just kind of weird. But
I think I would give the graphics and design an 8 personally.
all right,
Pretty good for late era PS2. Cool designs, but I feel
The art direction is good. Those cutscenes are rough. Those like the literal like the movement, like the human movement stuff, just does not compute.
yeah, like the guy who you have to burn alive, like when he's doing his movements, it looks really
yeah.
janky and like
Yeah,
Oh, he's yelling the same 2 lines over and over. again.
yeah.
pretty old and janky. But
I
the
mean-
colors, like it's a colorful game. Every area is pretty distinct in what he was saying with the character designs. Man, that's a tough one.
That's another area where 2 is so much cooler because there's like way more areas.
Well, there's already a lot of areas in this game. Like you go to Hades, and you got all of Athens.
do-
you
You
go
got,
to like the
The desert area is super cool. The
I do
desert
love-
area.
Well, I mean, what is it? Kronos looks sick, dude, with like the mountain and shit. Like where he's got like the
Yeah.
Pandora's box. Like it looks fucking rad.
Well,
I do
apparently
love
they were
the
gonna
sense
have
of
sorry. Sorry.
This happens every episode.
You weren't on my end. On my end, you weren't talking when I started talking yet.
input lag. It's probably your PS5.
I do love the sense of scale. For example, in Athens, when in the distance you see Ares, and he's huge, and they don't go for that too often in these games. And this game really needed that kind of opening up because a lot of this game you're in hallways, like you're like indoors and in hallways.
A lot of it's like a dungeon crawl for sure.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
for sure.
I do, yeah, and I love kind of this is part of gameplay, but like the geniusness of like the level design where you're just like spinning the rooms around, like that's pretty cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've convinced myself that it's an 8, despite the janky looking cutscenes.
That one area, that massive puzzle zone, right before you leave behind the Treasure of the Muses, like an idiot. That was cool. You have to move like all of the rooms around. You have to like figure out how to get all of these things lined up, and it's just this huge puzzle. And like the whole time, you're
that
just
is
doing
a,
little teeny pieces to move this huge overarching puzzle, and it's like it's big.
That
Dude,
is one of the instances, though, where seeing it in HD kind of gives away the trick. Where like you finally align all those hallways so you can get the beam of light to open up the thing at the end. As you're running down the hallways, you can see that it's like a fucking picture of the hallway.
Yeah.
It suddenly turns into the rendered hallways
Yeah.
closer.
It's like that fucking House of the Dead movie. It's in
Yeah,
video
it
game
probably
form.
is a lot more smoothed over on a PS2 on a
The painted
CRT.
close up.
Yeah.
And also, what I was trying to say with the scale thing earlier, Joe, is that the whole thing where he's climbing up Kronos is a cutscene in this, but originally they wanted it to be like an actual part of the gameplay,
Well,
which I think they make good
They
on
do it in 3.
God of
There's
War
2 and
3.
3.
2 and 3 they did a lot.
You climb up Kronos, and it's fucking sick.
And
Well, because Kronos
Yeah.
is a boss in number 3. You fight Kronos in 3.
yeah,
Okay.
you also in Ascension, the scale is even greater, and there's the part where you're
I
on.
bet I'm
the
not playing that one.
There's a part where you're like a tiny speck on the screen, and you got to fight all these little tiny specks while this giant fucking statue is moving. It looks really cool. It's really annoying because you have to play the game on hard to get the platinum. So you're
Actually,
pissed.
I guess they kind of make good on the scale thing in the second one when you fight the Colossus of Rhodes right at the beginning. That was pretty crazy.
Yeah, after you are riding around and fighting on the fucking Pegasus, yeah, it's epic,
Julico,
dude.
not in the first one. He isn't climbing Atlas. That's the second game where you're with Atlas.
Yeah, it's awesome though. Yeah, the scale and the scope in these are huge.
They do a great job with it, dude, for sure. And like it only gets better in like the later games too. Like it's super sweet.
There's a lot of cool cinematic camera angles. Like when you're in that temple with Pandora's box on top of Kronos, there's like one part where you're outside and you're like sidling along a wall and like you're seeing Kronos, like you're seeing from a high angle Kronos walking, carrying the thing below you with like the chains rattling like all in the wind and stuff. It's super cool.
Yeah. What are you gonna give it, Zach?
I'm gonna give it an 8 too. I think that's a very fair score. For what it is, but I fucking love the designs in this game, dude. I fucking love them. I think Ares looks great.
You love those Medusa titties.
I love this fucking. I do love the Medusa titties as a kid. I love them.
Yeah.
No, I think Ares looks fucking sweet, dude. Like his like flaming looking beard and hair, and then his like. But he's got an ashy face too, so I want to know who he killed to get the ashes stuck on his.
These Greeks need some lotion.
Yeah, man, they gotta fucking lotion up. I'm gonna give it a.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, going back to what A4 said, like just Kratos is iconic. Like it's a very iconic. You know, it's a PlayStation game. You know, it's a PlayStation flagship kind of thing.
Yeah.
Now with the new God of Wars, but if you know Kratos, even if you didn't play the game, you know who he is. So yeah,
I definitely think. I think he's probably. I would say my at least my favorite of the flagship characters from any of the consoles. Like I get Mario super big.
Yeah.
I don't really like those games as much as everybody else apparently, but Kratos to me, I mean Master Chief was cool until they made him a bitch, but like Kratos has always been a badass, and so like for me he's like the coolest of all of the flagship characters of all the consoles, and this definitely cements it. His character is awesome, his design is just crazy. And the little making of stuff, they said the more they stripped down like the look of him, the more like raw and like terrifying he became. And I was like, yeah. That's pretty true, because he's just in a fucking loincloth.
The making of stuff
like,
is the making of stuff on the disc is fucking awesome.
Yeah, and you see Corey Balrog before, when he was just a loser. Before he was running the show.
Yeah, he's a loser that writes the games.
Yeah, before he was the loser that made God of War 2 that everyone's saying is better. But yeah, he was. I just wish he would have changed his name to Balrog. Like Barlog is lame, but Balrog, super cool. I'm gonna give it a 9 though, because they took away the nuts. Initially, they were gonna have balls on the trolls, but they told them they couldn't do it.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
But,
because they're like, well, we have tits on the harpies and on the Medusas, and they're like, so we're gonna put dick and balls on like the male things. And they're like, no, you can't do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that'd be an adult-only game, and they're like, why? And they're like, because.
Well, if it's not hard.
Yeah, I do love the tits though. I do. I enjoy. I
like
tits.
the tits, but the nipples on the Oracle, they look like weird fucking pepperoni cones. They're not great. So.
Yeah. I mean, I love pepperoni and I love tits. I don't know. I'm down.
Yeah.
I like that they had nudity in it, and I think, I think it matches the time. I think it's a good choice. So I'm giving it a
Yeah, I should probably give it a 10 out of 10, because tits are literally my favorite thing on the fucking planet.
Yeah, just forget everything else. There's tits.
This game put it everywhere,
Yeah, everywhere it could, there's tits. But anyway, last category, replayability. How likely are you to replay this game? Is it fun enough?
I'm just gonna go out and say 10. I've already replayed it multiple times.
Yeah.
I replayed it again, and I fucking love it.
I didn't even have to play it, and I played it again.
Joe, don't you roll your eyes at me, because I have good taste in video games.
I'm not rolling your eyes at you. I'm thinking.
Okay.
I'm having a conversation with myself, and I have a very expressive face.
I'm giving 10 as well. I've played this game like 6 times now, easily, if not more.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is a lot. There's only a couple games that I've played that many times. And God of War 1, I played it back on the PS2 at least once or twice, probably twice, and then I played it again two more times on the 3.
I had a time before I left on my mission, like in December. I got my mission call, and I was playing these, and I just kept playing them, the 1, 2, and 3 over and over and over until I left.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, what a Mormon missionary appropriate game this is. Wow.
It is. It 100% is.
Oh yeah.
And you open up the door. You open up the door and you're like,
do you accept Lord Jesus as your savior?
Yeah, there was a time though when
Did you know he also went to the Native Americans?
We were fighting the Jehovah's Witnesses, and I was like, God, if you smite my enemies, I'll become your servant. And then he did, and I became a better missionary because of it.
I can't wait till they get to the Christian ones in the God of War.
Apparently they want to go to Egypt next.
That would be fucking awesome. I just want to see, like, Son of God, show yourself. You, like, replace your...
Apparently, crucifying you once wasn't enough.
Yeah.
For that one, I wanted to go back to the old school God of War, where it's, like, hella brutal, like, when you fight, like, like the gods going up to number 3.
You gotta fight all the disciples?
Yeah, that's what you'd have to do.
That's like a boss rush.
You're just bitch slapping a bunch of old men.
Because really, there's only, like, 2. There's God, and, like, Son of God. So, like, it's kind of lame.
I want him to have his
Maybe that's why they didn't go with Christianity.
I want him to pick up like the spike and just fucking hit it, and it just like hits Jesus' head against the wall, and he gets another one that hits it.
Maybe that's why
it's like pong, pong.
There's a bunch of angels too.
That's true. Yeah, I feel like Bayonetta already did that though.
I was gonna say it's a little difficult with a monotheistic religion.
Yeah,
but you got prophets, angels, disciples.
Yeah, one prophet makes bears.
Could it be Hickley?
Yeah, that's true. We're gonna go Mormon.
Yeah. Fucking ancient, like super sweet old man. He's like just vicious.
Fucking fights Angel Moroni and just like rips his horn out and shoves it.
Shoves it up his ass.
Could you imagine Kratos? Could you imagine Kratos running around in the 1800s or whenever the fuck Mormonism started?
Yeah. Would you like to buy some magic beads?
Smith, I'm here for your
I
wife.
said 1800s and you went to Jack and the Beanstalk.
Dude, no, one of the magic items in God of War when he fights the Mormons is he gets the garments. Like,
Yeah.
that's his thing where he, like, puts them on, and he's just like...
Yeah. He gets run through by Joseph Smith, but then he like reveals that he was wearing the garments too. He's like, you underestimate your own power. And he like unbuttons his shirt a little and the garments are on.
And then, like, it goes into, like, old school God of War, so, like, where it's brutal, and you're, like, pressing, like, X, like, when you're, like, beating the shit out of Poseidon, and you keep pressing X, and it gets bloodier, so he puts
Dude.
Joseph Smith's head in the plates. You're just pressing X, you're like...
Oh yeah, you're just shutting the plates on his
I can imagine.
It's
I can
worse and
imagine a sex minigame with all of Brigham Young's wives.
How old are you? 13?
I
There's 50 of them, dude. 50
okay, so it's at the end of
50.
that. At the end of that, before like you're gonna come, right? Because you're like doing the buttons, right? It goes over and it like pans over to like the baptismal font in the temple, and it's like goes, and then the water shoots out of the octaves. It's like
yeah. That's what it does in God of War 2. It's that little like cherub pissing thing.
It's like the cherub, yeah.
And it just fucking like
Oh man, there's a
My
part of me
personal
that
vote is
feels
for-
so wrong doing that. But
yeah.
so.
Yeah.
So
My personal vote
yeah.
is for Kratos versus Scientology, but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah. Tom
Cruise
Cruise.
is one of the villains, bro. Oh yeah,
Tom-
you gotta fight Tom Cruise. Awesome.
Yeah. I'm the last action hero. You know that, right?
Like, I do miss, like, and I feel like the new God of Wars are brutal, but fuck, dude, those old ones were fucking,
Yeah.
especially number 3.
Oh,
was
yeah.
fucking brutal. Because
Maybe
you're
by
like
the time
killing,
they,
you're killing these gods, and it's fucked up, bro.
Yeah,
I love
ripping
it.
heads off.
Maybe
Like,
by the time they go to
Cutting
Egypt
people's
or whatever,
legs
they do the
off,
next
it's fucking
series.
awesome.
Maybe by the next time they do the next series, the pendulum will have swung back and they'll allow like cool shit in video games again.
Dude, the new ones are awesome, bro.
yeah.
Shut up, A4.
They're not as like hardcore masculine as the old ones, but I mean, it makes sense for his character too. Though he's kind of older. He's like a couple hundred years old now.
He's got to get in touch with his
chilled.
feelings.
He's chilled out, more controlled. Something's got to happen at the end of Ragnarok to just piss him off again, and he'll just go back to being fucking crazy.
He's gonna go back
Someone-
to Greece, and it's gonna be when like Rome takes him over, and Rome like steals like the Greek mythology and just changes it a little bit, and he's like, and he has to go fight them all again.
Saturn.
Yeah.
Something happens at the end of Ragnarok that pisses him off again. Someone just calls him gay, and he's like, "I'm not gay."
Yeah.
Man, that one where you got to fight Muhammad in the future. I don't know if
Yeah.
the studio's going to
awesome, 'cause
last
He's gonna be
that.
blurred out. It's gonna be the hardest boss fight of any God of War game.
Yeah.
I can't see.
Corey, yeah.
Stand in my face.
No, the real boss fight of that is you fight Muhammad, and then you have to beat him before a guy comes to your house and blows it up.
There's like a real-time map on there, and it's like they're downloading your address.
Every second you're not moving, I am getting closer.
Come on, I'm gonna beat this game. I can hear the undulating cry of my impending doom.
You sign the end user license agreement for that God of War is like, if you boot this game up, the Muslims will know and they will come to kill you. So you have to accept that this is the last game you're ever going to play.
Or beat it, which you won't.
No, even if you beat it, you still die. It's just like, well, at least I beat it before.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh man, that's a crazy concept. Yeah, like blending reality. Corey Balrog, we decided to blend reality and mythology.
We here
in
at
this last
PlayStation
one.
want to bring you into the game. That's why we're sending out Muslim freedom fighters to destroy everyone who boots up a copy of this game because it depicts the Prophet Muhammad.
Getting his
It's
ass
glorious
kicked.
4K on your PS5 Pro.
And he goes into hiding after that. Like,
Yeah.
because they're gonna kill him too, obviously. Yeah, there's so many possibilities, though. Really, there are.
Yeah, so to sum up what we just all talked about, I would give replayability. I'm leaning towards a 10 because I did replay this once, and I might replay it again to play it on God mode.
Oh, it's
'Cause
hard.
there are a bunch of difficulties to try out on this, and like if that wasn't incentive enough, you also get all those costumes that give you different like
Yeah,
powers.
God of War,
like the
pretty sweet.
like the fucking cow one that gives you like unlimited magic.
Yeah,
Not to mention, there's like a shitload of unlockables that are. This is back when like unlockables weren't DLC. You could just actually unlock them by beating the game.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful time. That was a beautiful, beautiful time.
Yeah. So
God of War's also stayed true to that too, though. Everything has just been the game, and then that's it. So,
like I
That's true.
I guess I'll give it a 9 because I have replayed this already, and I kind of want to replay it again.
That should be a 10 then.
See, that's the thing. I don't know because it's like my heart says 9, but like I'm like, should I give it a 10? Is that fair?
but my dick says 10.
Did you guys destroy the statues, by the way, in the throne room before you beat the game? Then you get the,
Yes.
the phone number.
Yeah.
But the phone number still works, by the way.
It does.
There was one in. There's a website in. I think it's Ghost of Sparta. You do something. I can't remember what you did, but then you can like go to this website that it gives you, and it'll tell you that like they're coming out with another God of War game. And I think it was for Ascension.
After 2, you knew they were going to with 2.
No, I think it's
That's the way
after.
it
It's
ends.
after like Ghost of Sparta on PSP.
Oh, sorry.
And it like it's
Were
it's
they
a
saying
website.
another God of War
For some reason I
PSP
thought it was
game?
2.
No, it was for Ascension. I think
Okay.
because it was after God of War 3. I don't remember the timeline. One of them gave you a hint, and maybe it was a hint that Ghost of Sparta was coming out, but one of them was that way, and it was cool. It was like a challenge you had to do or something, and you uncovered it.
Yeah.
And it's still
But,
totally a thing.
Yeah. No. I'll give it a 9. I'll give it a 9 because it's a good game, good replayability, plenty of difficulties and unlockables and costumes to try out. And it's a
Yeah.
breezy little game.
I'm giving it a 10.
A breezy little game.
I love it.
Well, yeah, it's like a nice solid.
It
like,
is. It's not like
my
super
first
long. I just
playthrough
thought
was
it
like
funny.
8 hours, 8.5 hours, and then it was another like 3.5 for the like speed run for the trophy.
Yeah, dude.
So-
The speed run, I fucking conquered that shit. I looked at my last save, and it was like 320 or some shit. I was like, God, should have played it on
You
easy.
can really. I think I used the cow suit for mine, but like just spamming Poseidon's Fury over and over again.
Yeah, I don't remember what I did.
But even still,
I think I might have just done it with Kratos, just straight up, but I don't recall. I probably
Yeah.
didn't. It's been too long. It was like,
it's a good ass game though.
Forever ago.
I'll give it. You know what? Fuck it. I'll give it replayability 10. Fuck it.
all right, what about you, Joe?
As you should, boy.
Look, there's a lot of things to explore in this game further. I know with the newer versions there are trophies. It's a solid game, but am I ever going to replay it again? No. And with that in mind, 5 out of 10.
All right, so final thoughts. God of War is awesome. It's way better than Devil May Cry.
We
Evidence
also
of that
found
is
out
look
that
at.
not only does Jake not count, but Joe also does not count for this review.
I mean, he doesn't even know what Devil May Cry is.
Or
He probably wouldn't like that either.
He's like, why would a devil cry?
Yeah.
Why does it have quick time events?
Stupid. Yeah. I like it. It's one of my top 5 series for sure. It's up there with Final Fantasy, Metal Gear Solid.
Devil May Cry is such a, like, without knowing the game at all, it's like such an emo title.
Yeah.
Like,
And yet the game is emo too.
sounds like it's like
It
Death
is.
Cab for Cutie or something like that. Devil May Cry.
Yeah. Super gay.
Which is funny because the games themselves are like the least emo thing ever. They're just like hard fucking rock.
Except for his
Like, the
design.
whole time.
His design's kind of emo-y.
No,
Like
no.
know in Devil May Cry they don't say head, they say yed. Like
You're
Blink-182.
you're specifically thinking about the DMC redesign. Like his design looks totally metal in like all the games except for DMC.
The most metal game of them. Yeah.
Yeah, like
They do have
Metal-
rockin'
if
soundtracks,
metal-
though. They do.
Yeah.
yes.
I'll
And-
give you
and-
that.
and-
I
If
like
you're
5
te-
a lot, man. I think 5's great. I dig 5.
If you're telling me that it looks emo, you need to just like listen to the fucking battle theme from Devil May Cry 3 because it's fucking it's like the flames in your eyes call your bluff. Feel free to die when you've had enough. It's the best.
That's
shit ever.
emo,
I love
bro.
it.
Tonight will be the night
The
that
night
I
that
will
I will
fall for
fall
you.
Isn't that basically what like V's theme is from Devil May Cry 5?
I don't know.
Yeah, I
He's
don't
like the
remember.
emo guy with like the book and the cane, and he like summons like the birds and the
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Jaguars
summons the
and
animal.
The birds from the worm.
You know, You know, there's got to be crows in the
Birds from
music
the
video
Wood.
for Devil May Cry song.
Yeah.
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 Got to be some crows, dude.
I mean, and here's the thing: I like Devil May Cry too, so I'm not gonna like it. Like,
Also,
I
the
am
battle
a
theme-
fan.
the battle-
People who are gonna attack us. I am a fan of the games.
There's
but
got to be
I will-
crows and angel wings.
Also,
somewhere in
the
there.
battle theme for 4, the lyrics are "The time has come and so have I." It's fucking
And
so
also,
good.
the B story in the music video. There's got to be like a really like hot chick with like too much like eyeshadow makeup running around in the rain.
Yeah. So it's
All those elements have to be in place.
That is basically Devil May Cry. That's true.
You're just mad that you can't make it into the Diary of Jane, Joe. He's just a notch on her bedpost, but you're just a line in a song.
brutal. Yeah, I think it's a good kickoff to a great series. And I kind of want to play the rest of them now. I don't know if I have time.
Yeah, I was thinking the exact same fucking thing, dude. Like,
I'm definitely going to, because I would at least like to have a little context before I get into the modern
Right.
ones. Not that there's like a huge.
I mean,
connection
there's some
between
stuff
them.
in the God of War game where they like, and then 2018 one that they like kind of reference some stuff a little
Right,
bit.
but like
Ragnarok does
more
it a
like
lot. So
Okay.
it's more
Well, I
that I
mean,
want to
yeah,
have like I want to have the first 3 from the original trilogy under my belt, so I can kind of like appreciate what they've done differently with the new ones.
I think you're gonna have fun with 3.
yeah,
Plus they're
And
super
2 for
short
sure,
games, all things considered. They're like less
Yeah.
than 10 hours each.
yeah. He even references like Ghosts of Sparta and shit in
Because I have the PSP collection as well for PS3.
Because like you said, in the new God of Wars, nobody shuts the fuck up, so they do bring that up.
I only say they don't shut the fuck up because the new one became infamous for like, I guess the playtesting didn't realize that like if the characters just give you the fucking solution to the puzzle like immediately, that like everyone would get annoyed with it.
Yeah,
And there's like no option to turn that off or whatever, so that kind of blows. But it's whatever.
it's their what is it? Where they make the game easier.
It's for all the Joes in
Gentrification?
the world.
Easy creep.
No, it's like the accommodation kind of style where they like
Yeah,
accommodate. So
but then
like,
again, like
there's a video in the new one where a dude's playing it with his fucking. He has like one arm and he's using his chin. I was like, this fucker gets to play this game with his chin, but I can't beat this optional boss. Like, come on now, what the fuck's going on here?
Horizon Forbidden West also seems to do that, where like Aloy never shuts the fuck up, where she's like, I could jump over this ledge, and it's like, can you let me fucking explore the game?
Yeah, it's like, how about let me play, bitch? You're a fucking line of code. I'm trying to enjoy this line of code.
Less talking, more jogging. You need to work off those fucking muffin top handles.
Yeah. Shut up, bitch. I can't. The only thing I can stand less than the sound of your voice, the sound of your heavy fucking laboring breathing as
the
you
only thing I
run
can
through the
stand less than the
fields.
sound of your voice is your BMI.
Yeah. Is the deafening clap of your ass cheeks mixed with the fucking furnace style inhale and exhale.
How are your thighs? How are your thighs making that noise when they rub together? You're not wearing snow pants, so it's like
Yeah. Yeah.
I was disappointed in this game, I'll be honest. Having come from the 2018 God of War and having heard Schweiss deep throat this game every time he brought it up throughout the years.
When I say
saying
God
things
of
like,
War-
you must play the God of War games,
Yeah.
starting with number 1.
You should. He's right.
why is
This
he
game,
digging?
this game has aged really poorly. It doesn't quite have. I don't know. I preferred the 20 of the 2 games called God of War. I preferred the 2018 one.
Well, yeah, because that one's a movie and this one's a video.
Quite a bit more for like a myriad of reasons. So, in this way, I was like disappointed. Certainly, if I were to play number 2, I would know like where it was coming from. I guess a little bit more. This is just one of those things where you get into a series really late on, like, for example, Final Fantasy, the games we never bring up on this show. And let's say you start with like one of the PS1 or PS2 Final Fantasy games, and then you go back to the NES ones, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
Like, there is that big of a difference between this game and then what happened in 2018.
Yeah, I mean, 2018 is a uniquely excellent game, so, I mean, my scores were perfect on that, and they're not perfect on this, so I agree. But it's one of those where you got to play it at the time, I think, to really appreciate how good it was.
Yeah, or at least play it first.
Definitely first.
I think A4, if you do a playthrough of the God of Wars, I think maybe, yeah, your ability to appreciate
I can
these
see
old
how a
ones
modern
will be
game
different.
with all like the quality of life improvements and like the trappings and trimmings of like the PS4 would totally blow this game out of the fucking water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even
The
God
thing
of
is,
War
you
3
gotta
blows
remember.
it.
It's like, I think what this is like you gotta remember the streets you grew up on. Like Joe is like in this new area where he's like, this is really nice, and he goes back to his childhood shit where he like grew up in this
Bob Sykes Drive.
place, and he goes down there and he's like, yeah, this just isn't as cool as I remember. Like,
Do you remember when you couldn't control the camera and the right stick was used for dodging? God of War remembers.
Yeah.
But I think that's what it's like for sure, is being like, oh yeah, I'm here. It's like when you take your girl, like your girlfriend, you go back home to the city and you gotta take her back and you're like, oh, I used to go to this bar all the time, let's go get a drink. You're like, oh, this place fucking sucks. They're all shitty here.
Yeah.
It's kinda like that. But you still remember it fondly, and I still go to that bar and drink every now and then because I'm like,
Yeah.
I love the cutscenes.
Agreed.
Story.
Agreed. We'll have to see what A4 thinks.
The one thing we didn't touch on with the cutscenes either is the guy outside the temple where he's like the most bored guy ever. He's just like, you want to challenge the gods and try to find Pandora's box.
That was a pretty good character.
I guess I can't stop you. Like,
Actually, with cutscenes as well, I like how when you kill Ares and he explodes, it's just like a nuke. Like it goes out and it's like boom, and I'm like,
Athens had been saved. It was for about 3 weeks, but
Yeah, except for the part that was completely leveled by the nuclear explosion. But in theory, it had been saved. Like, overall, the idea of Athens still existed.
Yeah.
Also, I like when she's like,
It was still on the maps.
she's like, and Kratos jumped from the highest mountain in Greece, and I'm like, that's where Mount Olympus is, you dumb bitch. He didn't jump off that. That's supposed to be the highest mountain. You fucking tree.
Yeah.
when you go to Mount Olympus, it's like a weird ass like portal that takes you there.
Wait,
so.
isn't she the voice of Gaia in the other games?
Yeah, she is.
Yes.
So she just plays trees, bro.
Yeah, she loves the
She's in
trees.
Pocahontas as a tree. She's Gaia.
This bitch only plays trees.
Yeah.
How does one get to specialize in that?
Yeah. She probably has a degree in,
I
like,
assume she's white.
trees.
She is.
She's got a tree degree.
This tree's gonna sound like an old woman.
Maybe that's why they hired her for God of War 2. Or God of War 1. It's just like, what's your resume? Oh, you were a tree in a children's movie? You're hired.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be a
In
tree till the sequel,
Child's
but
play.
yeah.
Perfect. It should have been you.
She was also
Should've
the
been.
tree. She was also the rape tree in Evil Dead, but no one knows that.
But yeah,
She didn't get any
uncredited.
lines.
Uncredited,
Yeah, no lines.
They cut her lines out of the movie.
Yeah. So,
There's that lady going, you like that? You like it? Take my stick. They're like, yeah, you can't. We can't.
And this tree raped this woman on the highest peak
Yeah.
of West Virginia, wherever the fuck this movie takes
the
place.
highest branch on the tree of rape.
So fucked up. If
Really?
anybody listening to this, just get ready for that. If you ever watch Evil Dead,
Yeah.
fuck.
So,
They did that in the remake too.
I
I
didn't
I never
watch
saw
it.
the remake.
Sam Raimi
I
really
say
regrets
I
that
think
scene.
they did because I remember some controversy with it.
Well, because I forgot. That
Oh,
was
no,
the
they
remake,
do
but
have it
like,
in
when we went
there.
to go see Mario. When we went to go see Mario, there's a poster for like another Evil Dead.
Oh yeah,
remake thing
dude, that
coming
one looks
out.
fucking nuts. That one makes me cringe. I love Evil Dead, but like the part that gets me, like in that trailer, like it shows like them like kind of fighting the demon thing, and she fucking grabs this chick's leg, gets a fucking cheese grater, puts it on her shin, or like on her calf, and goes like that. I'm like, no, I can't. That got me so bad. I was like, ugh. Nope. I love gore and I love watching these movies, but fuck, that got me to be like, oh.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, it's, yeah, good stuff. So, I got a quick story, unless you guys are not done.
Are you gonna round up the
Are you gonna
scores?
Oh yeah,
Sure.
that's right.
Scores?
So a recap on all the scores. We have
The thing we do.
yeah. Story. Joe and A4 gave it an 8. Me and Zach gave it a 9. Gameplay. Joe gave it a 7. Everyone else gave it 8s. Sound and music. Joe wrongly gave it a 9. Everyone else gave it a 10. Graphics and design. I gave it a 9. Everyone else incorrectly gave it an 8. Replayability. 10s across the board.
Oh,
Except for Joe, who gave it a 5. It's a total of 37 out of 50 from Joe, 46 out of 50 from me, 44 out of 50 from A4, and 45 out of 50 from Zach. A combined average of 84.667. We round down,
so 84.
and 84 out of 100 for God of War.
I love when Joe brings down the class average.
Yeah, so it's as good
sitting
as
at a 94 on Metacritic, so
it's
a
got
bit off.
It's got the same score, according to us, as the Resident Evil 3 remake, Mass Effect, Silent Hill 1, and Fable 1.
I mean, it's with good games.
I would
for
put
sure.
Fable far above this, but
Yeah, Fable's pretty
that's
good.
just me.
So that's where we're at. God of War. OG. So cool. Real quick, though, something very strange happened to me. So when I was texting you guys earlier about,
Life is
like...
strange.
Yeah. About
True colors.
like not watching the Mario movie. I was actually sitting at Maverick trying to get a drink for me and my wife because we're tired as fuck. So we have a million kids. And I sat in the car
That.
and I looked up where John Leguizamo was from because I wanted to get it right. As I made a joke about him.
Leguizamo?
Yeah,
Leguizamo?
whatever. She said the same thing. I don't know what you're saying, but whatever.
John, Louisiana.
Yeah.
Where do you think he's from?
As I get out of my
John
car...
Lasagna.
John Lasagna.
As I get out of my car, this fucking car rolls up full of like bros, like straight up like fucking Jersey style bros. And they hop out and they're like, hey, bro, come here. And I was like, okay. And I walk over there and I was like, what's up? And then it's this guy, and he's selling, he's trying to sell like pheromone based fucking like cologne. Right? And he's like, come on, bro, you got to try this out. And so he like sprays some on my wrist and he fucking shows me the name of it. And it's called Liquid Panty Remover. And he's showing me his prices and all this shit. And I'm like, dude, I can't buy this. It's too much. Like, he's like, come on, bro. Like, since we're here, I don't really care about these. I'll give it to you for $40. Come on, man. Come on. What do you say? He's like, proven to work. And he gives me his card. And here's his card. Like, I'm going to let you guys see this fucking thing. Tell me if it's too close. But
He looks like Psy from Gangnam Style.
yeah,
But he looks like Psy,
dude.
like fucked a person from the Jersey Shore TV show.
Yeah,
All-star motivate.
yeah. And
No, he
his,
looks like if Psy got bitten by someone, like if he got bitten by the situation or something.
yeah. And dude, I fucking bought it at the end. I was like, I came out and I was like, you know what? This is random enough that I kind of feel like I have to, like, because like this dude just rolls up. He's got a trunk full of fucking cologne. He's ridiculous looking. He's like 5'4", and he's like this fucking bro. And he's like, come on, bro, come on, you got to buy this shit. And so I went out and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll pay $40 for some liquid panty remover. So there it is. Like, I was like, and I told him, I was like, I appreciate the hustle. I was not expecting this today, so I'll you know what, fuck it, I'll buy it, man. I fucking bought it.
Podcast
You
is
are the last
sponsored.
person that needs a liquid panty remover.
I know. I was almost gonna say if I keep
Absolute
removing them, I can't have many more
person.
kids. I'm already over code in this house.
Yeah, they're already in the fucking drawers.
Yeah.
Can't
So
have more.
the combination of the name, the situation, every bit of it, I was like, I gotta buy this. This is too fucking funny. And the back of it says, warning, this product has been known to have random women remove their panties. If this happens while wearing this fragrance, you do not need to consult a doctor. Just spray more on and enjoy the moment. Brought to you by your friends at www.allstarmotivation.com. I was thinking, too, I was like, I need to get them as a sponsor for Nude Clan. That would be so
I was going
fucking
to say,
perfect.
Nuclear is sponsored by Liquid Panty Remover.
Yeah, but I was like, we have to avoid making a lot of fun of them, which is already too late, and I knew it would be. Otherwise, it'll probably be a deal breaker. But I was like, this is too fucking hilarious. So yeah,
If he's a real bro, if he's a real alpha, then he won't mind.
Yeah, so I got a bottle of liquid panty remover. that'll wear.
Wait, did Alex smell your wrist when you walked in, or did it already fade off because it's cheap? Or like what?
No, she said the one that I bought smelled good. So, but she's like,
bro,
why do
you're
you
gonna get laid?
why do you need that? You're already married, is what she told me, and I was like, well,
Yeah, she's like, why do you need that? I've already given you 17 children.
I was like, what's another 17?
I just
Given you
picture
a
like
litter, Schweiss.
I
Yeah.
just picture Schweiss is like he's got like a closet full of like kids, and like one of them is like sticking out. And he's just like kicks it with his leg, and then like closes the door.
Then he grabs like the SNES that's like right above him. He's like, get back! Just grabs it and pulls it down.
Yeah, get back.
He's like holding the door back. It's like bulging. He's like, I don't know if we have no more kids in here. We only have 3 of them.
Yeah.
And then a wave of babies comes out, which is a great animal as Leader's song, by the way. Wave of babies.
Yeah, I just can't wait till like I'll be like in random places and suddenly I just constantly get hit in the face with panties. Like I'll be mid sentence, it's like oh, and like it'll just become a normal
I thought you were
occurrence.
Then Alex is just sitting there glaring at you. She's like,
Yeah.
"That's right outside."
It's like it's a liquid
I thought
panty
where you were
remover. What
going
am I
with
supposed to do?
I thought where you were going with that was like
$40.
I thought where you were going with that was you're going to be like, I hate being out there somewhere, and all of a sudden it's just like, I can't make the noise, but another kid. All right, well.
Yeah, that's my joke to anyone who's like attracted to me. Is like I'll tell them like, oh yeah, by the way, you're already pregnant. Like my mere aura.
Like Fist of the North Star. Just
Yeah.
you are already pregnant.
Yeah, just by merely making eye contact with me, there's a quickening happening.
A quickening.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that was a hilarious fucking interaction, and I couldn't believe it. So
I can't believe you bought that fucking thing.
Dude.
I think I'd be in the same boat as Schweiss because you have to respect the hustle.
yeah, I was like, I just can't believe that this happened to me. So I and it won't be as funny if I tell it and I don't buy it.
Please tell me he was still blaring Party Rock Anthem by LMFAO out of his car in the year of our Lord 2023.
There was definitely something like that going on in that car. And he had the Hawaiian shirt, so like it was too good. It was fucking hilarious.
Oh my god!
He tried to sell me one for Alex, and I'm like, no, I can't spend any more money, dude. I'm sorry.
We're gonna have to all wear
Bro,
that.
you may drop panties,
When
but you're
we,
not married. Go
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah, for over.
And there was another guy like this
Yeah,
bald,
when
this other bald fat guy who was doing it, and he was like talking to him. He's like, yeah, you know, bro, your wife might not like the name of it, but you know, she'll love the smell. And so like I was like, I respect it. This guy's out here selling this shit. I was like, this is something I'd
when
expect
I
on the
fly out
strip,
there, we'll have to.
not at the Maverick and Provo.
When
Like,
I-
it's just-
What?
yeah. It's like, where did you come from? Are you like some kind of portal? Some kind of fucking portal from the East Coast or the Vegas Strip? Like, what are you doing here? But yeah,
When
dude.
I fly out there, we'll have to wear that and then go to Lagoon or something.
Yeah, I'm
Test it
gonna.
out in the-
You're
in the
like,
wild.
why aren't women dropping her the panties at us fat fucks?
Yeah, I spent $40 on this shit. Yeah, dude.
Fuck.
Listen,
I'm gonna.
I don't understand how other fat people can't fuck because I have fucked a lot.
I don't know.
So I don't understand what their problems are, if we're being honest. Maybe it's because I shower and I do smell good.
Maybe. Well, we got to
That's
get him
fine.
as sponsors. I'm gonna contact him, see what we can do. I think it'd be hilarious.
You couldn't. Liquid panty remover is like one step away from Sex Panther or whatever the fuck from Anchorman.
Yeah, it's just a way over the top. That was half the reason why I bought it.
No, I mean, buying it for the name alone, I would have made the same move. That's fucking
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, so that happened
Just to have
today.
it as like to have it as a conversation piece on your fucking coffee table.
Yeah,
It's like, what's that? Oh, liquid panty remover. You haven't heard of it?
yeah,
Wow.
it's pretty sweet.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
So brought to you by Liquid Panty Remover. Thanks for hanging out with us this week, guys. Next week, what are you guys thinking? Mario movie or
Probably the Mario movie.
God of War 2? You know,
You can play God of War 2.
yeah.
I kind of plan on it.
Not going to stop you.
Oh,
Well, if
that's
A4
good.
is going to play it and you're going to play it, you might as well do that.
Yeah, maybe we will.
I mean, I'm not going to beat it by next week. Next week you should do the Mario movie. But
Yeah, no, I'm not doing it in a week. But
it's a movie. Or do you mean God of War?
got more. Oh, I'm probably not gonna do. I guess I could do the movie in a week. I guess. But I must eat.
Take 90 minutes out of your schedule to go see a movie.
Yeah, 90 minutes out of my panty dropping schedule, bro. It's gonna get. And I get
Please-
tired afterwards
Please
too.
wear
so-
that before you go into the theater, please.
Yeah, and I come out with it's gonna my head's gonna look like one of those like far removed African villages where they have the rings where they make their necks longer, but it's just going to be like fucking panties. My neck's going to be like 9 inches longer because I got all these
All
panties.
you're going to look like is a scrunchie. That's what you're going to look like. No one's going to be able to tell those are panties.
Yeah, that's
No, it's
true.
going to be like those things that clowns have around their fucking neck. It's called a wavy.
The little lace things, yeah.
Or like a cravat. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait for that. So, anyway, check it out. Liquidpantyremover.com.
Is that actually the website?
I don't think so.
no, it was like www.allstarmotivation.com.
All Star Motivation, yeah.
Like sigmagrindset.edu.
Check it out. Yeah, .edu. Check it out. Educational. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys. So, thanks for hanging out. Until next time, live always in the nude.
Aries, have you ever heard the wolf cry to the blue corn moon? Or ask the grinning bobcat why he grinned?
Walk with your QuickTime events held high.
This guy is from Vegas, by the way. Fuck off.
I fucking knew it.
Their production level on their commercials is pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Is it as bad as what's the name of like Carl's Barbecue and Foot Massage?
My short films in high school had better production value than this.
I gotta look this guy's commercials up now.
Oh my god, dude! No, it's on the homepage. So if you go to allstarmotivation.com, you scroll down. There's gonna be like above where it has the Twitter shit. There's a video embedded, and it is.
Hey guys, cars like these don't interest me anymore. Now I'm more interested in what a man smells like. I used to be into club promoters, athletes, and rich guys.
By gee golly, let's test this bad boy out.
OMG, Daddy.
Man,
It's always better as a pair.
looks like I'm gonna have a good night.